Somehow I feel that should be okay. You said we've started streaming?
Yeah, we have. Yes, we are live and direct. Good day, ladies
Right.
and gentlemen. My name is Oyedera Lawale, and we're so proud to be here for the third round of the Africa Chess Championship Super Zonal 2025. This is the first edition of its kind, and with the partners for this event are FIDE itself, that's the mother body of chess in the whole wide world. Also, the African Chess, the Confederation of African. There's a check that's African Chess. There's an ACC. Thank you very much for the mother of Africa. That's a continent, and we have the National Sports Commission, also from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We also have Chelsea Slums. Thank you very much, to the Nakoya and the entire team. And to the venue of the event, which is City Heights Luxury Hotel. This is situated at Ikeja. That is Okwebi. That's yes, of Okwebi. That's Okwebi Sheraton, between Okwebi and Sheraton at Ikeja, Lagos. And we also have, of course, the Nigerian Chess Federation, who is hosting this event. And this is the second international event they will be hosting this year, back to back. This is a very wonderful feat by them, and also to Right Foods for being a partner and sponsor of this wonderful, wonderful tournament. And quickly, we're going to delve into the game page. And today we have something interesting. We will be showing the faces of the players as they are playing live and direct. So sorry if there is a little bit of lag from the what is it called, from the live feed, but that's what we get from there. And with me is my wonderful, wonderful co-host, commentator, analyst, the master of squares, the impression of Lakute Oluwadurotemi. Mr. Lakute, how you doing today?
Yeah. Hello. Yes. Hello, everyone. Good to be on the show. So we've had some two interesting rounds being played already, and this is the third round. There were a lot of tough games yesterday, and I don't think it's going to stop today. So it's going to continue. The games are going to be hot, and we're going to try to break it down as much as possible.
Yes, thank you very much. And before we actually go ahead and breaking it down, I think it is very, very crucial to check on the results of the round two as fast as possible for all our viewers to check who and who won the round two, because unfortunately we were not able to stream it yesterday. But now that we are here, we could talk about it. Abdulrahman was able to beat Marco Marcano. That's a wonderful junior player all the way from Cote d'Ivoire. 1-0, so Abdulrahman has 2 points. And WGM Wafashuk of Egypt was the time around was able to defeat WIM Nasir Lana of Algeria. That's a very, very wonderful comeback from the WGM after suffering a very terrible loss against Nigeria's Sulaiman Azumi in the first round. And the game between Olisa Tennyson versus WFM Shana Praskash of Uganda ended up 1-0 in favor of Olisa Tennyson. And Sulaiman Azumi, after defeating a WGM in the first round, and she was not able to hold her own against the defending champion of the West African Zonals in person of Tobishi Ofowino, who actually clinched the game 1-0. Looking at the position, end position right now, it is a total disaster for Black in this. And finally, a game between Ayemo Mazan, who was able to defeat a male counterpart from Cote d'Ivoire yesterday, ended up beating Muhammad Hatim Bazaar of Chad Federation, and this is 1-0. These are wonderful scores, and we will not be able to touch these games. Apologies as regards, but we would be able to probably do a recap if time permits us after the round three that is going on at the moment. So now the round three games, and I'm so sure Mr. Lakwete Oladurotemi. I'm even Mr. Lakwete. Can you please explain why you didn't get a title? Because you are qualified for a title. I'm not comfortable calling you, Mister. When I know you are out there, of course, the minimum title candidate master is already on the bag for you. I don't know why you don't want to claim it yet. Maybe you want the straight I am like some others do. But I think if you have the same title, just get it. That's by rating anyway. You actually got the title by rating. I don't know, maybe if there's an FM title on the line, no, probably FM no. But I'm looking forward for you to get into 300 so that you can also claim the FM title based on your rating and not by direct, what is it called, direct qualification. So what's your thought on that?
You're calling me out on live stream. I don't know. Yeah. I'll definitely get my title when it's time.
I
I think I'll get my title.
I no, no, it's not as if you don't. No, don't get me wrong. It's not as if you don't have the title. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't have the title. I'm saying the one you have. Why are you not
Yes, I
claiming it
understand.
yet?
I
That's
understand.
the
I
that's
understand.
the that's
When
my own English at the moment.
when the spirit directs me, I will definitely claim the title. Just we're still
So we
waiting
have
for the spirit to direct me.
so we have to wait for the spirit this time around. That's not fair.
Yes, the spirit is.
That's absolutely not fair. Okay, before we delve into these games, I'm actually trying to do something. I'm actually trying to, I can't find, there is something I'm actually looking for that I can seriously find, and I need to get it before we kickstart this. Okay, where are you? So apologies, I'm coming. Let me just delete this. This is not working the way I want it to work. Um, Oh my goodness. I'm almost there. This is Mr. Lakute here. I just realized that your video is not, I mean, I was not able to capture you out there because of some change in the good. Now I have you here. Uh, Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, kindly bear with us for just for like 10 seconds. And I just want to put Mr. Lakute, I mean, sorry. Yes, Mr. Lakute, it is for now. Don't mind us. Um, Unclaimed titled player, like we tell him, maybe just put it that way. So because he's already a titled player, he just doesn't want to claim it yet. Anyways, now good. We have the full squad on the screen. That's me over there, that's Mr. Lapis over there. And that's the players in our presence, and we can now delve into the games as fast as possible. So, Mr. Lakota, which one do you think we should go in? We should go at first.
Well, I think we always have to start with the highest rated player of the event, and it seems the highest female player of the event. Is she the? No, she's not the highest.
She's
But
not
the
the highest female
current
player, but
West
she's the current
African,
defending West African champion. Yes, I agree.
yes, both
So,
the male and female having a go at it in this game.
exactly. And of course, that's interesting. In fact, the male champion versus the female champion. And let's see what they have in store for us from A to Z. We have the Knight F3, D5, G, and we have something like English. English.
Yes, it's some sort of KIA. It's some sort of KIA. So where Black has responded by bringing his bishop out to F5. I'm not sure if I can't see this. Sorry, let me see. I can't see the board.
You can. Okay. You can see the board from here. Apologies. Let me quickly make that happen as fast as possible. And this is the board that you like to see. Um, so sorry about that. Let me see.
Um,
That should be
I
up.
hope the viewers can see the board. Uh,
You said what?
yeah, if the viewers can see the board, it's fine.
No, the viewers can actually see the board, but from your own ends, you have to see what we are talking about so that we'll be in sync. You know,
Yes.
I don't know why is this slow. It is a network. Um, okay, we connected successfully. Okay, back. It was a network. It was just a temporary um, network thing. So good. Can you trying to reload? Um, can you see any screen yet now? I think I'm live already. Oh, okay, you're back.
Yes. I can
Yes,
see. Oh,
you
was it
went
my
off.
network?
Yes, you went off for a while. I was looking for you. Um,
Oh, okay. I actually thought it was. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
yes, I was looking for you, and all of a sudden it was saying something like, um, okay, cool. I think I have to do something here. Hold on a sec. Okay, you can see my screen, I believe.
Not yet. Somehow. Is it the
It's up.
network?
My screen is up. It's up from
Okay.
here.
Yes. Yes, I can see it now. Yes, I can see it now.
Good. So
Perfect.
since you can see my screen, I don't think now the next thing I need to do is I have to change um this from here. Okay, let me go back to this place. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's the most important person in this views is supposed to be Lakuten, not my that. Yes.
About that. But
Where are you? I can't find you anymore, so I have to do this. Ah, this capture. Okay, so I think you should get it now. Where are you? Okay, I guess this is the problem. Again, ladies and gentlemen, to complete apologies as regards these unforeseen circumstances. Uh, can you imagine? I'm actually looking for. Okay, I think I know what to do to remove completely um, Windows capture again. Trying to. That's so funny. That's honestly so funny. So funny right now. So funny, so funny, so funny. Okay, I guess I will just have to do entire. I don't know why it's not showing. It's supposed to show my Discord channel. Oh, it's supposed to show my Discord channel. Lakute, you're not here anymore, are you? Mr. Lakute is off again. He's off the screen. He's off the screen, ladies and gentlemen. That's Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Mr. Lakute is off the screen. That's not my fault. I'm so sorry. We'll start making the analysis very soon, but just so you know that he's not on the screen. We'll be back. We'll bring him back as soon as possible. Let me just quickly change this. And yes, okay. Mm, finally, I'm able to get it. I'm able to get it. Finally. So I'm waiting for Lakute to join the show right now so we can talk about the games one by one. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to start before he gets here. Then we'll bring him in immediately. Oh, now he's there. Welcome back, boss.
yeah, I was having some trouble. I don't know how I disconnected there. All right, sorry for that. Okay, so are we good?
We are, I think we are good to talk, I think at the moment. It's just that,
All right.
let me
We can
see.
go through the position, yeah?
We can start going through the positions one by one. It's just that I just need to bring up your face is still going up and on. I don't know why. Okay, good. I think it's on here. I just want to let me make it bigger here so we can talk about the positions as fast as we can. Okay, I think I got you now. I got you.
Um,
But it's just like I said, your camera keeps disappearing and keeps coming back on. But no problems. I think we'll just have to work with what we do. Maybe when you come back online. Yes, you're here. So good. So let's talk about the games one by one. finally. First move, like we were talking about the position starting. You said it's a KIA, but I usually thought a KIA is always starting with it's the E4 E3 sort of structure if it's KIA.
Yeah,
So
okay. So it's a fianchetto setup. It's a reti opening. You can call it a lot of things. I'm not really sure the name matters, but okay, maybe KIA reti. Because you are playing a C4 and D3 setup sort of. So maybe okay, let's call it a reti opening.
aha. So I
Uh,
think let me go. Okay, let's go with the red opening. And now here we're saying C6 that the
okay, so let's go back a little bit to explain what is happening and why both sides go for this sort of setup. Um, so if we go back a bit, like maybe two moves, yeah. All right, so all right,
E6. Mm-hmm.
one more move back.
Okay, one more move back. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
back. All right, so we can start from here. So basically, the idea from the black side is that since in a lot of, let's say, D4 or Catalan openings, you don't get to you can indicate maybe E7 to E6, the pawn on E7 to E6. Yes, you don't get to bring your bishop outside of the pawn chain very early. Usually the bishop is on C8 for a while, then you try to bring it out via B7 square, maybe by playing pawn to A6, pawn to B5, and then finally bishop to B7, bringing the bishop out that way. But because of the setup white has chosen, usually you can play bishop to F5, or you can play the move bishop to G4. But then you would wonder, okay, it seems like black should be happy. You have played bishop to F5 or bishop to G4. Right. So, but white's idea is simple. It's saying that, all right, I'm going to allow you to play this move that you desire. But in exchange for it, there are two things white usually plays for. It plays for, if you can point to the pawn on B7,
Depend on what?
pawn on
D7,
B7.
B7. Okay.
Yeah, it plays for that pawn, trying to say that, all right, you have brought out your bishop very early. I'm now going to target the pawn on B7, and try to put some pressure on it by playing the move queen to B3. That's one of the ideas there. All right. Another idea that white has is that, okay, you have brought out your bishop early. You've played we can just click on the screen so that all these arrows disappear. We're not looking like Nakamura. So bishop to F5 comes, and then you play the move pawn to E6 also, right? After the bishop has come out to F5. But now the point is that the bishop is outside the pawn chain, so you are going to try to harass the bishop by playing moves like knight to H4 and trying to get the bishop pair. So you play knight to H4 and you try to fight. You try to get the light square bishop under favorable conditions, and then you try to, as white, you try to play a long game where you have the two bishops, but and then you can try to put pressure. So usually when it is almost time, you would see black playing moves like pawn to H6, trying to make sure that if white plays knight h4 with the bishop on f5, the bishop can always retreat to h7. But the problem is that pawn to h6 requires, it's an extra tempo. That means it's a move you're not developing with pawn to h6. We are trying to gain, we are trying to, what's it called now? You're trying to save the bishop, but you have given white an extra tempo to maybe try to develop. So it is this battle of fighting for the bishop pair, putting pressure on the b7 pawn, the time you take to secure the bishop on the b1 h7 diagonal. These are all the things. These are all the strategic ideas that are in the position. So you might be wondering, the move by move then might, start to make more sense when you understand what it is that the opponent is playing for. All right. So,
Yeah,
having said all this, I think we can now go into what happened in the position. Bishop f5 was played. Okay,
castle,
white castled.
e6,
Um,
c4.
e6. Okay, c4 already indicating ideas of playing queen to b3, putting pressure on the b7 pawn. So white and black played the move pawn to, yes, which was one of the ideas we talked about earlier. The white played black played pawn to c6, solidifying the center and getting ready to meet moves like queen to b3 with queen to b6 or queen to c8 or whatever. Okay, let's go.
1-6, 1-6. D3
Um,
was played. Bishop out here
okay, pawn to
just because it was a
d3.
castle. Knight c3.
I
Castle.
believe. Okay, so yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Queen out now.
Okay, queen to b3, queen to b, and then queen to c2. So this is a very typical dance. Now you are getting ready to play some tempo moves on the bishop by playing pawn to e4 and hoping that you can maybe even try to play pawn to e5. Um, you know, taking advantage of that. So
So that
yeah,
that
so
explains
that
why
was
the rook that explains why the rook needs to come to e8 in order to stop this pawn push.
yes, yes. In order to stop the pawn push to e5.
But again,
I
the
believe
fight for that
I
same
believe
bishop
it's
that you're
still
talking about.
playable. I
Is
believe it's
it?
still it's possible to play. Okay, it's not possible, yeah.
No,
Okay, it's
it,
not
I don't think
possible.
so. Pawn takes,
Wait,
knight
e4
takes,
takes,
knight takes, bishop
knight
takes,
takes.
and the queen.
No, no, no. But okay, let's look at it. Pawn to e4.
Pawn e4, pawn takes,
Yeah, pawn takes, pawn
pawn
takes.
takes, knight takes.
What do you want to do here? Yeah, but not knight takes. Knight to h4.
You want to do knight h4 immediately?
Yes, is it possible?
Well, knight to h4 is actually possible. The question is to what ends? No, I don't. To what ends?
Yeah, you're
To what
attacking the bishop,
ends?
and the bishop is important.
Yeah, knight takes
If
queen.
I
I mean, knight takes knight. Knight takes
No,
knight.
but that knight
Bishop.
takes knight is not good for black. Knight takes knight, I think black is okay. Knight takes knight, yeah, it's
Knight takes
possible.
knight. It's possible. Knight takes knight. So you have to do knight takes
Yeah,
bishop,
because
right?
of the knight to e2. Yeah, knight to e2 check.
Knight e2 check. And once the king moves away, then this bishop can just kindly just run back home, whatever it needs to go to be safe.
Okay, it
And
runs back, but it doesn't end there. Does it
bishop
end
here.
there? I don't think it ends there.
Bishop here.
Okay, bishop to c5.
Hmm.
Okay. The problem was I was hoping for a move like rook e1, but the problem is that white has the move and black has the move knight to g3.
Knight g3. Yeah.
You can make the move on the board so that people
Of course,
see
knight
the
g3 discover check,
uh
and because this you have this rook.
and
That's problematic.
yeah, so that I think okay, so that's why I think it started with knight h4. First of all, chasing the um
Bishop.
bishop away.
Knight h4 takes it
No, no, no,
away. Knight
not
h4.
yet, not yet,
Not here. Okay.
not yet.
In the position. So that's why knight h4 needs to come first, of course. Knight
Yes,
h4.
yes,
So once the bishop moves, now you would be able to push this pawn conveniently because now you have all these guys, lots of defense on the central pawn.
yes.
Even with the queen. Yeah.
So
So
knight
that is it.
h4 is played.
So knight h4 was played, and
Bishop e6,
exactly following the plan. E4.
e4.
It doesn't
All
take.
right. So now opponent plays the move knight bd7. So here I think it becomes very concrete. Now it's a calculation. You're trying to wonder which pieces you can exchange, and if there are places we can gauge some tempo. Yeah, bishop e3 might also be interesting. I don't know
Why
if
would
it
it be? Why would
particularly
bishop e3 be
works.
interesting? This is just What happens to this immediately?
Yes, but yes, there's knight a4. That's the point.
There is knight a4. After knight a4, okay, and this guy
Okay,
is
you can
still
put the moves on the
looking.
board. So the
Knight
reason
a4.
I was no, not knight a4, bishop e3.
Okay, sorry, bishop b3 first, right? Okay, let's go back.
Yes,
Bishop b3 first.
bishop
Then we are
e3. I was
saying
wondering
immediately
about that
after,
before. Yeah, then knight a4, and
and just
then queen moves somewhere. I'm not
the
sure
question is
where.
where is somewhere? Where is
Yeah, but
somewhere?
it doesn't work because I think no,
Does this lead
not
to
this. I
some?
think maybe queen to e6 is more than
No,
fine, and
what
black
will
is
lead you to
winning.
this? Can you please tell me what exactly you have in store for this?
Bishop d2.
Oh, now the bishop cannot run away.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, so
that's why queen a6, and then I think black just wins a piece. It doesn't work.
queen
Uh,
e6
a6
from here, queen
after
a6.
yeah, and then once you move the
Uh,
bishop, pawn to b5, and
oh, pawn to b5.
knight to black.
This is easier. Yeah, pawn just now. That's oh,
Uh,
oops.
So
That is
the
it.
reason I was trying to go for this was I didn't see the you would lose the knight on a4. I was trying to go for that if it forces black to play d4, then maybe you can have the pawn on e4 and then the pawn on f4, and then try to play with those pawns on the king side. But okay, so bishop e3 is not really possible. All right. So what was played? Bishop e6,
Well,
pawn to
in the
e4, knight
game,
bd7.
we had after okay, sorry, after 97, king just steps away, and now he wants to play f4.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
He wants
So
to play
I
f4.
think generally it looks like black has solved a lot of his problems. His bishop is happy. I feel like it depends on how this tension is resolved, and then we'll know what's happening. So, okay, bishop f8 seems like a good move. I like the move, bishop f8.
Bishop f8 just simply
Stepping out
drops
of
back the potential
stepping out
pawn
of the
fork.
yeah,
Yes.
and sometimes in some world it might even be possible to play moves like pawn to g6 and bishop to g7, in another world. So yeah, it looks healthy for black. I like this. Okay, let's go forward. So pawn to
Okay.
b3 was played.
Pawn to b3 was played in the game, and now we have pawn takes, rook out, bishop attacks the queen. The queen moves forward to a5, of course. Um, Probably knight in there stops
Okay,
the
knight
knight from coming to
e2.
g4.
Uh, knight e2. Let's go back one move.
Knight e2. After knight e2, yeah.
Yes, knight e2. The threat is simply to play, I believe, something along the lines of knight d4 or f4. So you're trying to, get, like I said, the light squared bishop of black on e6 or the knight. If you can get that, then white would be happy with the result of the opening. So after knight e2, knight e5 was nice. That if ever there is a knight d4 or knight f4, the bishop can always just retreat to c8, and
Mm.
I believe he's happy. Also, knight also is targeting squares like e3 and all the light squares. So yeah, so far it looks like black solved his major strategic problems. Okay, so
Okay.
what
Um,
happened knight e2?
Knight e2 was played after knight e2. Immediately we have the knight to e5. Um, Pawn to a3. And pawn h3, stopping the knight from coming here to, harass this bishop one more time. Um,
Yes.
Knight went back. Knight wants to remove the other knight. Takes stakes. Knight to f f4. Now, black is
Yeah,
the
knight to
white is the one
f4.
that wants to remove the bishop.
I'm shocked that I'm a bit surprised that black allows knight captures on e6.
She
Bit
allowed,
surprised.
okay, from push.
Yeah, yeah. For instance, it wasn't. It's not clear to me why the move pawn to bishop to c8 is not possible. Let's go back one move.
Bishop to c8. Sorry, apologies, bishop c8. From here, she just go back bishop c8.
Yeah, yeah. I'm wondering why that's not a good. That seems to
Oh,
me to be satisfactory.
well,
The
it's
move
my.
pawn to a6 not
Mm,
really clear.
we don't know what she wants to gain with pawn a6. It's not as if she's going to. It's not looking like she's going to be playing d5. Probably this pawn a6 is also looking like a waiting move. But anyways, even bishop going back
Yeah, but
to,
why?
she
Yeah.
probably
So the thing is that
doesn't want her pieces to go back, go back, go back. Look at the bishop is at the back here. Now look at it,
no,
bringing
but
this
the
bishop to
bishop
the
is
back
not.
here.
The bishop is not. The bishop is active from the square on c8, and the rooks are happy on the open files. So it's
Yes,
not really.
yes.
It's not really going back. It's like the bishop is active from where it is. The bishop is not. It doesn't need to be on e6. There's nothing particular it's doing on e6, so it cannot always just be on c8, and it's as active as it's as active as can be. I don't really know.
Yeah, and now there's a challenge for the what is it called for the center fouls. That's the D foul now. So
Yeah.
what's going to happen? Do you want to take the diff? Do you want to take
Um.
control or what?
So I still feel Bishop C8 is a move. I mean, it's very strange that I'm very surprised. Very surprised. Okay, you know what? We would quickly take a sneak peek if you have access to the engine. I'm shocked that
If I
both
have
of
access
them
to the
did
engine,
not
we should
take.
take a sneak peek. Okay, if I'm going through the engine right now, so just take a very quick sneak peek over there.
No, to
What's
go back one move
to go
instead
back
of
one move?
a6 to see. Yeah, to go back a6. Okay, so after knight here. Okay, after knight f4. Yeah, the
Yeah,
bishop should retreat to
Bishop C8 was
c8, and
the
it
very first what is it called
okay.
suggestion,
Now
and
a6 is played.
but A6 was played,
Okay,
which is
yes, exactly, and
but
then the knight should just capture on
just take the
e6.
bishop.
Yeah,
But he's
I
not
have
ready to
I
take the
have no
bishop
idea what
also. He's
I
not
have no
ready to take the
idea.
bishop.
Like
Now
that's
he has allowed the bishop back now.
yeah, yeah, okay. You can please switch off the engine. I just thought is it possible that I'm going crazy? But it seems I've not yet gone crazy.
No,
Like if you want to play,
when it comes to analysis, you can't go crazy. Trust me. Okay,
yeah,
go on.
because the way if White wants to play for a long term advantage, and the
Hmm.
way to go is to capture on e6 and then play for the fact that you have the two bishops. So the
Hmm.
reason why we always say the two bishops is that they control different color complexes. Okay, it's not like once you get the two bishops you are winning, but it's you want something to imbalance the position. You want some strategic imbalance in the position. So if both of you have the same pieces, the same structure, it's not really easy to play for something. But here, if you capture on e6, then there is a possibility of just playing for the bishop there. Okay, okay, but it's fine. It's not like the world ends if you don't capture the bishop. It continues. But like black is really really happy with the bishop on c8. It's not in the way of any of the pieces. It's nicely protecting the pawn on b7, which is not attacked anyway. But the bishop is also active from that diagonal. So okay,
Hmm.
all right. So I think we've spent a bit of time on this game. Um, I think they'll probably both be trying to maneuver and get their pieces to ideal squares for like the next maybe 10 or so moves. So we'll probably come back to this game to
And let
repeat it.
us
But let's
go.
let's check out the
Let's
next
go to
game.
WGM Wafa Shruk versus our very own Olisa Tennyson. who actually was outstanding, was very phenomenal. Also doing the Zone 4.2 event, defeating the highest rated player from the Verde. Is the only one that actually took his cap completely. Others are just, taking his bites, but he took the whole, like the whole mouthful. Like. And here we go, playing
Yes.
against Wakashu from WGM, from what is it called, from Egypt, and we have a
Yes.
Sicilian,
So it's Sicilian.
Nigel, Sicilian Nigel.
A6. All
Bishop
right.
B3, E5. Exactly, these are the book moves according
All
to.
right. So I think we should pause. We should pause.
Okay,
There
okay,
is some interesting finesse happening here. If we
okay.
go back to the move after pawn to E5 was played.
Knight goes back to F3.
Okay, so instead of knight going back to F3, the main line is knight to B3. And
Yes,
then it becomes very double-edged. White is playing for maybe an attack, it will castle queenside and play for an attack on the king, on the black king, and white probably will castle kingside and play for an attack on the white king, which has castled to this to the queen side. All right, but this knight F3 move actually is a favorite of mine because
oh,
it's
really?
doesn't yes it doesn't lead to once in a while when I play E4, this is the line I aim for when I'm playing against Najov players. It's a positional line. Now you're not playing for an attack necessarily here. I think we can make the move knight to F3 on the board.
The three, yeah.
Yeah, we are not playing for an attack here. In fact, we are playing for positional ideas. If you point to the D5 square,
Yes,
all right, so the D5 square is what we are going to play for. Now, the line usually, the ideas of this line usually goes that white plays the move bishop to G5. If you can draw an arrow, bishop to G5, captures the knight on F6, and let's say the bishop captures. Let's say, okay, bishop to G5, the bishop goes to E7, um, captures, and then you play knight D5, you play the move bishop to C4, and you can see that white has a lot of grip on the light squares in the position. You can see that the E5 square and all the light squares in black's camp have some certain weaknesses to them. So this is the big idea in this line. There are some things that are not good for whites. I think bishop e6. Let's make some moves on the board. Bishop e6. In this line, then you quickly harass the bishop with knight g5. Yes, and if the bishop has to move, let's say let's well, a lot of people have moved the bishop. I've played this position against someone called a very famous Nigerian player before he moved, Baba Yemi. We've had this position a lot of times. He wasn't really. I know for a fact he didn't really know what was happening. He got into trouble a lot of times, and he lost a few games. Yeah. So if you move the bishop away, of course, maybe f3 is fine. I think yeah, the line goes something like this is not a line. This is not a line because it's not good for black. But uh, white would then bring his bishop to c4 and dominate that's the light squares and that diagonal. Yes,
so
that's mainly
so
yeah.
now the thing is, we're trying to stop was trying to stop the domination of this the five square. Because I remember when I was actually studying it back then. I think when I was that was a long time ago. Garry Kasparov exactly there was like black is always praying for once the exchange happens on this square, that white ends up placing a pawn there. That if it's a pawn that is there,
Yes,
then black is
yeah,
completely fine. But the moment it's a knight that
yeah,
is there, then it's a big trouble. So I think most of the
yeah,
time, bishop e7. I think bishop e7, knight bd7. Yes, knight bd7. Knight bd7 usually comes in this kind of scenario.
yeah. So it's
For
of course
example, again,
the
for
moves have
example,
been worked.
your bishop e6 idea. You were saying bishop here, right? Immediately.
No, 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 no. Bishop e6 is not a good move because of knight g5.
Oh, just knight g5. So if it's black's turn to play, then black needs to play the knight bd7 first, or even after
Well,
bishop e7. No, bishop e7,
so
then knight bd7 next.
okay, so there are many ways black has
g5,
figured
bishop b7.
to try to fight this line. For example, if we go back a move instead of bishop e7, I believe there is also the move queen to c7 here. I believe, if I'm
Okay.
remembering correctly. And the idea is that white usually wants to play his bishop to c4. So by playing
No,
queen to c7 immediately,
you can't play bishop c4. Yes.
yes, that's the point. The bishop cannot come. So that's one of the ideas of fighting against this line. If we go back a move, I'm not sure if it's here or on the next move. Also, black plays moves like pawn to h6. Not sure if it's here exactly that you play the move pawn to h6. But the idea is that the bishop wants to come to g5 normally to exchange itself for that knight,
Mm.
right? The, the bishop wants to come to g5. The white bishop
Yeah, that
on
bishop was
e3
considered to exchange it. Very
wants to
good.
go to bishop. Yeah, but now that you have played the move pawn to h6,
There will be no, there is no
yes,
g4 anymore,
yes, there's
g5
no
anymore for
bishop
the bishop.
g5. Yes, yes, and then you can safely play moves like maybe bishop e6 and try
Yeah.
to comfortably hold the d5 square. So there are many ways to play this position, but the problem is, if you click on the board, the big problem for black is that already at this moment he was thinking, which is not generally a good sign because it means that you are not really familiar with what to do in this position. And it's probably not good for you to be caught off guard in positions like this. But okay, knight f3 was played, bishop e7. Let's go forward.
Bishop c4.
So bishop c4, all in accordance with the ideas you want to play for the d5 square and the diagonal, and you want to so castles,
Castle.
and then h3 was played. Okay, h3 is a move. There are times in these kind of positions where, well, not necessarily. Not in fact, it's a very strange thing, but it's not even necessarily connected with preventing anything. But there are times when you want to, strangely enough, play moves like maybe knight f1 and knight h2, knight f1. Yes, knight h2, knight g4, it's a move. Knight h2, knight f1 is also a move. And you are trying to fight for the light square. So it looks like h3 is trying to prevent those ideas, but I don't really think that's the idea. I think it's more connected with trying to play for knight h2, knight g4. I think. So
Bishop,
it looks very strange, but it's very poisonous. Okay, so h3,
bishop.
bishop e6, bishop b3. Yeah, so you don't want to capture on e6. Let's go back and
Ah,
capture on e6.
because of course, what you're actually fighting for is no longer there. Because once you do this, then you can't stay
Yeah,
here anymore. This is not good for
yes,
you.
exactly. Exactly. So that's why it's good to be aware of the ideas behind what the opening you're playing. So after bishop e6, bishop b3 is played. Um, what happened next?
Queen
Queen
c8.
to c8. I
Now,
guess this is a move trying to get your opponent out of book. Maybe it's not really connected with the opening per se. All right. So what was played here?
castles. Wow, did
All
she
right.
just invite
Castles
that
was played.
sacrifice on the pawn? But it is not. The problem is it is not enough.
Yeah, I don't think the sacrifice works here. I don't think it works. I think black is not well developed to take advantage of that sacrifice because after takes and queen times h3, I think knight g5 is just good for. We can make the moves on the board. After bishop
You're
captures
looking
on
at
h3,
no, it is actually after castle. Okay, bishop takes h3, pawn takes, queen takes, and
queen takes and knight
knight
g5.
g5, knight g5.
Yeah, with the
Probably
idea
this
of
queen. This queen just stays there a little bit.
yeah, and then queen f3.
Queen f3, knight
And I
here.
believe
Nope. Then there's trouble.
no, but knight can't take. Yeah, there's what did you say?
So what's gonna happen now? Is
Is it not
this knight
possible to play the move? Is it not possible to just play the move bishop captures on f7 check? Is that
bishop
not
takes
just
f7
good
check?
for white?
Bishop takes f7 check. Um, the rook does not need to take. Just move the king inside.
Is that not is that good for white or not? So
So, so what options do you have here right now? Since
come on.
don't forget that it's mate.
Yeah, yes. I
Aha.
mean
So this is
it
the most
wasn't
important.
it wasn't
This is
particularly necessary to take. I was just looking at okay, let's go back a move.
okay. So
Let's
you
go
can't
back a
take.
move.
So taking is not a good idea.
Yeah, because inviting the rook into the attack is not really. So the question is yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a queen knight. So queen g3, you're losing your knight. So I'm not sure about this knight
Mm.
moving away to attack the.
Knight g5, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
not sure of
maybe
the
it's
knight
maybe it
g5.
was a yeah. Okay, let's go back. I just thought it's just solved the problem, but maybe it's
Yeah,
not
I don't.
necessary.
This
Knight
knight
g5.
g5
So
is the main issue here. Because I'm
so
not
what instead
not
of
only
knight g5? Bishop g5 or knight to d5? Bishop g5 maybe.
bishop
Yeah, I
g5.
think bishop g5. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe bishop g5, just maybe. But I still
I
don't
think this
like
is more.
it. I don't
Yeah, but
like it because
you eliminate the knight, which is the important attacker here.
but look at the problem. After bishop attacks, right? After this pawn
Okay.
attacks, you have to take,
X.
right? I'm taking with the pawn.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you can just play knight h2,
Knight h2, knight
and then you are
h2. Now
threatening queen
king
g4.
moves. You're not threatening yet.
No, don't worry. The problem has been. I think the problem has been solved. There's queen f3, and I
Immediately.
think, I, yeah, queen f3, and that solves
Yeah, I
all of
think
the
queen
problems.
f3,
There,
rook check, and the king goes back.
there's no attack anymore. In fact, it's black who is in trouble because white will take over the g file, rook g1, and
No, not yet now.
well, yeah.
Not yet.
So yeah,
Just
I know for a fact that that attack should not work. I think
yeah, it's
bishop
not
to
working.
g5 solves that problem.
So the doubles, the what is it called again? Is that what they call the Alicante gun? Nope. Is it? Nope.
No, no,
No,
no.
no,
When
no.
you
This is just the
align
battery.
three,
This is just the battery.
yeah,
This is the battery. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
battery. So here we go. So
Okay, so
here,
queen c8
Bishop c4 was played. C4 was
castles.
played instead.
Okay, bishop c4.
Was
Not really
played.
sure why bishop c4.
Rook out.
Rook e1,
Knight e7. I mean knight d7.
knight, knight d7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
This
okay,
bishop
so
can't take
knight
yet.
h4. Well, the bishop can take. It's not really a problem, but well, maybe it's not necessary. But here I'm a bit confused. I've seen it might be possible, but if you are not following it concretely, the next move Wafa plays is a bit strange to me. I understand that if you can get your knight to f5, it's going to be fantastic. But if your opponent plays g6 and then you have to think again before making a move, that means that you probably were not here with a plan. So instead of
Mm.
knight h4, if we go back,
Mhm.
yeah, I believe she should have spent some time on moves like thinking about moves like knight to h2, knight
Okay.
to
Still
the
knight
idea of
h2
knight to
idea with
g4.
knight to g4. Just remove that knight.
Yes. Yeah, and also there is also some of the possibility of playing bishop to g5. Instead of
Okay.
that, let's click on the board. Okay, and then follow it up with knight h2, knight f1, knight e3, and then the knight goes to the d5 square.
And that was having beautiful. That's a
Yeah,
very lovely.
yeah.
As in,
So
and you have the supporting knight with it as well. So there is no way, no way. you will end up catching with the pawn.
Yes. So most likely in that position, you will probably get the d5 square or for your knight, which I think would be is what you are aiming for in this position anyway. I find it very a bit strange that she didn't go for this any of these two options, which looked very promising. Knight h2, knight g4, and then knight bishop g5, knight f1, knight h2, knight f1, knight e3, which I think generally is what the idea you have in this position. So yeah, I'm not really sure about knight h4. It might be good if you find a concrete way to follow it up, but I didn't see any way. So I thought she should have just played it positionally. But okay, so she plays knight h4, bishop h6, queen d2, and knight f5. Okay, so this is the one of the tricks. I saw this, but I thought probably it shouldn't work. This idea of knight f5 playing for, I thought it shouldn't work.
And
Maybe
knight,
maybe I'm wrong.
you want to play knight f5 immediately right now?
That was what was played.
No. Are you kidding?
Yes.
So what happens after pawn
So
takes
okay,
pawn?
yeah, the idea is queen to maybe pawn takes pawn is also possible, but I think main idea is
Only
queen
pawn
to
takes knight.
c5. Maybe yeah, pawn takes. Maybe you can take immediately, or you can play knights, yeah, and then the pawn after the pawn takes, it's covering the
No, no, I don't think I'm not
you
even
get your
liking.
piece back.
I'm not even liking it. You get your piece back at what? I'm not liking it. Why? Knight attacks the queen. So what's next? Well, it's get no, it's not getting any piece. It's getting the piece back. So where is it? Where is this queen going to?
You mean after knight? Which move?
Um, I just moved my knight after the pawn takes, right? Then I'm moving this knight here.
Okay, so that's a kind of so the queen probably has to go to g4, maybe,
G4, right?
maybe.
So if the rook goes to G4, then first things first. Isn't that supposed to be bishop takes bishop first?
I don't think you can allow that bishop to leave.
We can't do
Yeah, I
knight
think you have
takes
to
knight
take on
first.
b3 first. No, I
B3
don't
first.
think so. The bishop will be too powerful on that diagonal.
Just knight takes knight then.
No, but if it, that's what I'm
Ouch.
saying. Knight takes knight, the bishop captures on c4, and the bishop is very powerful on that diagonal. I
But the,
don't think you
pro-
can
the
allow that bishop to.
the problem I'm having with bishop takes bishop right now is knight takes knight immediately.
Okay. All right. You continue with maybe bishop to d5.
Bishop to D5,
I believe that probably is the only move. Yeah.
then pawn takes knight now.
Okay.
Oh,
You
pawn
can
takes
take the
knight,
queen. Can take the queen.
queen takes queen, pawn takes pawn check.
Okay. King takes.
Then
Maybe.
after king takes, then you can now do pawn takes queen. And one, two, three, four.
Who is after after all this? Who is better?
After all this, who do you
Yeah.
prefer?
It seems. Yeah. It seems white is better. White has some
Ex-
extra pawns.
Exactly. Rook is coming in there next, keeping an eye on this guy. So he's going
Yeah.
to,
So probably
no.
all this was what Tennyson saw that made him reject the move knight e4. So
Yeah,
instead of knight e4, after knight h5,
I'm coming knight h5. I'm sorry, knight h5, g6, bishop here, rook here, queen here, knight in back here, knight here. Wait, that's not horse, is that? Sorry, let me go to live immediately. So, because I think I've already missed something there. That's what happened in the game. Oh.
yes.
Wow. That's precisely what happened in the game. Let me go back a little bit. Knight f5, pawn takes, pawn queen check. Isn't this what we're talking about? So,
Yeah, that we're following the. Okay, so bishop captured on b3, pawn
oh, in
captured
his
on
own
g6.
case, in his own case, he went ahead to capture the knight immediately.
Uh,
Pawn takes, pawn takes bishop, b5, queen back. Wow, what's going on there?
So if it turns out that the attack has is has petered out, then maybe black can start to try using his central pawns and trying to put some pressure, but it's not clear yet. It's not clear yet.
Wow, this is the final position.
And
That was
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, maybe it's still possible for white to play moves like bishop to g5, capture on f6, and then put the knight on d5. Maybe it's still possible to do that.
But,
Although I'm not really sure it works as
um,
well anymore, but it's possible. Possible.
so black is looking at queen c4 at the moment.
Black,
Yeah, is black not looking at queen c4 at the moment?
yeah, it's possible.
Or is there a
But queen
way
c4, what will you do after bishop to g5 if black plays queen
queen
c4?
c4, bishop to g5?
Oh, it doesn't even work. I had an idea, but it turns out that it doesn't work
Doesn't work,
because the
right?
queen is not protected. Yeah, my idea was to play knight d5 and use the tempo, but the rook is not being protected. But I think it still works because after queen time, maybe does it work?
Oh, you're looking at this one.
It does. Yeah, yeah, but it doesn't.
So what's the plan? Knight here or bishop here, knight here, right?
Yeah, that was the plan, making use of the discovered attack. But of course, the queen is just hanging. So
Yeah, it
knight captures
works,
on
but
f6 was the
it
idea.
actually it actually works. We just lose your queen.
So b4 has been played. Yeah.
Okay, in the game, back to life feed, b4 was played. So I'm saying we're not looking at queen c4 right now just because of that b4. Because
Yes.
why did he even
Queen
play b4?
c4.
It doesn't want. Is it trying to stop pawn to b4 instead?
Yeah, black was trying to prevent pawn speed. So Tennyson is really down on time, but okay, if he plays a move like he has to play a bit conflict here. Yeah, the position was a difficult position, but queen c4. What do you do after queen c4? What do you do after queen c4? Yeah, I don't really see what you would do after queen c4.
Ah, queen c4. Suddenly you just drop in another pawn.
Yeah, well, yeah, it seems you are dropping a pawn. I don't know if it is um okay, but
Enough.
can you play it slowly? Okay, yeah, queen
He played
c4.
queen
Okay,
c4.
bishop
That's what he
g5.
played. He played queen
Yeah, yeah,
c4.
but
Bishop
bishop
g5.
g5. Let's
Uh
go.
huh.
Let's go bishop g5.
Bishop
You
g5
you take on c on b4.
takes takes takes
Okay, so is it possible to play a move like queen to d3?
queen d3.
Yeah.
Um, after queen d3, after queen d3, can we just kick? Can we kick this? It doesn't make no, it doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does, doesn't
Oh
it?
well, it does. It does. It does. It does.
Let's kick it.
Yeah,
So
but
what
knight
you are going
knight
to use to
captures.
capture is what matters. Knight takes. Then is it bishop takes or queen takes?
Well, I'm not too sure.
Bishop takes allows the under ridiculous annoying pin.
Yes. Maybe queen takes. Yeah.
Hold on a
Yeah,
second.
maybe queen takes.
No, hold on, hold on. Why do I have to take? Hold on. Hold on a second. Oh, let's not forget there is this annoying knight takes check.
Yeah, that's why I was suggesting queen takes, so that the queen just protects it, and then you can always put the queen on d4. The rook attacks it.
That's not enough. Hmm. But why am I not a fan of this? It's risks. It's actually risks somehow because queen d4. This does not do anything serious. Knight takes pawn. Is it knight takes pawn or queen takes pawn? No, knight takes pawn allows bishop in. Um, Knight takes bishop. Nope. Knight takes bishop check. The queen has to go back because if you're saying queen takes pawn, you did you advocate for queen takes pawn?
Yes.
And oh, okay. I think queen takes pawn is looking interesting. Can I take the two rooks? Does it make any sense?
After which move? Queen to d6 or what?
Oh,
Is bishop g7 not possible?
it doesn't work. No, I was actually looking at taking the two rooks. But wait, hold on a sec. Rook takes knight. So queen takes doesn't work. You've lost a
Okay, so
piece.
bishop g5 has been played, by the way.
Yeah, so you lose a piece that way. Queen takes pawn doesn't work. You lose a piece. So in the game, wait, what? Why are we doing this? Okay, back to live mode.
Yeah, bishop g5 has been played.
Bishop g5 was played, like you advocated rightly, looking at the idea of bishop takes hand. Okay, we actually got to this point as well. So we now started thinking
Yeah,
from
pawn.
queen takes. Okay, we'll probably just have to leave these guys there, or else we just keep on reminiscing till we'll not be able to pick the remaining game. And I'm already seeing Sulaiman Azumi in a very serious scenario. She's having 2 minutes on her clock, and her opponent is having a whole 1 hour.
Yeah, okay, we should probably delve into that.
And exactly how did she get to this situation where she's 1 hour down, and we're having the stone stone
But
wall structure?
before we go there,
Yeah,
let's quickly check Torisha's game. I think she has blundered something huge.
blundered. Okay, this is
So
Tonisha's game here.
let's go
We
back.
stopped that
Let's go back a
knight f.
few.
We stopped here. Was it?
No. We stopped a
No, no,
few
no.
moves back. Yeah, we stopped around bishop
Yeah,
c8.
when
Okay, here.
yes, here. Yeah, we stopped here. We're trying to see what I was asking.
Okay, so
What did she do? Bishop c8. Yes, exactly here. Then bishop d4 was played. Knight stepped away. Knight went back. King in. Um, Knight went back
just
home.
generally improving the pieces. Knight went to d7. I'm not really sure about these moves. Pawn to a3. I think it's a good move, trying to chase the queen away from that diagonal.
And now the
Um,
pawn attacked the bishop. But
bishop
the
went
bishop
to
is going to hold on
c3.
to the, yes, c3 attacking the queen, queen jack back, knight back in
Okay,
here.
so
Now
after knight f4, I'm surprised Black did not even try to fight the knight coming to. Yeah,
by
so
playing knight f6.
it's clear that Black has misplaced pieces completely. Knight d5, because once a knight can get to d5, followed by what happened in the game, which was bishop to is the a5, and now White has just won the exchange for more or less absolutely nothing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's
Oops.
so
Oops.
now you start to think about conversion. That's what you start to think about in this position now, conversion. Okay, I just wanted to also quickly look at that. Let's go back to Azumi's game, which we haven't checked out at all.
Yeah, so Azumi's game, we were dealing with from the onset, we were looking at a stone wall structure. Yes, knight here, knight wants to go
Yes,
to,
so
yeah,
I just want to quickly mention something about this stonewall structure.
mhm.
After she played the move Queen to C7,
Queen c7.
I can't really delve too deep into it because of the time that we have. After Queen to C7, it's
Yeah.
important that White is aware of this strategic idea. So knight BD2, I believe it's a dubious move. It's not like he's losing or anything like that, but I think it's a dubious move. And the reason is because of Black has the move pawn captures on D4.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically here, because you are forced to capture, you are more or less forced to capture with the
With the
pawn
c
on
pawn.
C. Yes, with the C pawn. And in the stone wall, this is definitely not what you are aiming for. So the
Exactly.
first thing is Black has the move knight to b4 in some scenarios. He has the move knight
Yeah.
to b4. The pawn and the knight on d2 would rather be on c3 in this structure, and the bishop on c1 is just locked in. So
Mm-hmm.
let's go back. Let's go back to what happened in the game. So the problem is that when she didn't take her chance after the move, she castled instead, which I think is not good
Mm-hmm.
because she wasn't aware of what was happening. Because after the move knight to e5, now if you take on d4, you can take on d4.
Yeah, it's, I think there's a change in the plans right now. So
Now you can take with the e
the
pawn,
e pawn.
which is the desirable thing. Now you can see that the bishop on c1 is suddenly, more alive. The bishop on c1 is suddenly more alive. There is, and Black doesn't have moves like knight to b4.
In fact, it is not
If you
even the
look
black
at that,
bishop here now that it's now looking for.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, but okay, maybe she would not feel too unhappy. Maybe she would remember her game against Wafa yesterday, where she was able to play moves like b6, bishop b7, and then put the knight on e4, and then suddenly gain. Um, so yeah, this is how you want to play as White. You want to start an attack on the king side. Rook f3 was played, followed by
Whoa.
rook h3. This is what you dream of when you are playing the stone wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so
G4.
g4.
Takes takes.
Okay, so it's not 100% clear. I mean, it's also possible to maybe play for queen e1, queen h4. Maybe it's also possible instead of g4.
So instead of
Yes, queen e1,
G4,
queen h4.
you have the queen E1, the
Maybe
queen
it's also
E4,
possible.
and now this,
Yeah,
and
but
now
I think
this.
I like g4 also is fine.
G4 is interesting. Very, very
G4 is
interesting. Very interesting. Now, pawn
okay.
takes,
Pawn
pawn
takes on
takes.
g4. Pawn
Oh. Am I
knight
seeing pawn push?
e8.
Are we
Yeah.
seeing a pawn?
So
Are we going to see? Okay, we might have seen knight here ideas. Yeah, knight to F3. Wow. First things first. I was actually looking at the pawn to G5. That's also a possibility. The intention will now be to, in the long run, bring the knight here and knight back here, sort of to enter this square.
Yeah, but I'm
but
not sure of what.
I don't like it. I would have
I
preferred
don't.
the
I'm
night
not sure what this person played in this position.
or just queen e1
Um,
immediately because f. Nope, 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 nope. I think knight has to move. Oh, the knight moving. Now I think I understand why she
it's
had to play that. But you can take this knight even if this one comes to attack you now.
I don't get that.
If the fear was to look for a safe square for the knight, for example, after here and knight goes back to g5, because of probably a potential. Oh, I think the idea was to stop this potential f6 move.
Yeah, well, the idea was just to simply protect the king on with the queen. So the by pushing the pawn to f6 or f5, you want to use a queen on c7 to protect the pawn on h7.
But
The
this is
queen
looking
on
scary
c7
right
just
now.
protects the pawn.
This is actually looking scary right now. Queen is coming in there.
Yeah, I thought it was scary, but I'm not sure how this game continued.
He
After
played f5,
g5,
f5.
yes, after g5, f5, I'm not sure about taking on f6.
En passant.
I have, yeah, I feel like there was a bind and then you just allowed your opponent to escape the bind, just like Wafa did yesterday. Feels very strange to allow this. But okay, maybe she's trying to open up the king. It's fine.
Yeah, it's. I think it's not. Um,
It's not how I would play, but I think it's fine.
Bishop takes pawn
Oh,
takes knight
maybe
in there.
knight e4.
Would you like that?
Okay, yeah. Knight g5 now.
No. Bishop takes pawn takes knight g5. The threat.
Mm,
Rook takes pawn. Knight takes pawn.
yeah, yeah. I think it's fine.
Now what really happened? That's what happened. Bishop takes, and knight here. You see, because if the knight ends up taking this
Yeah.
pawn and this knight is coming in here, this is problem.
Yeah, but the big mistake I think by Black was Bishop captures on e5. I think that was a
Why
terrible move.
why is Bishop
Um,
e5 a mistake now? Bishop? Oh, okay. You mean black? Black capturing Bishop on e5. Yes, that's. Of
yeah,
course, you don't
yes,
want to
yes.
capture when you are playing against the stone wall. You don't want to capture this. You don't want to capture. You don't want to. But
Yeah.
but the knight will have been there for. It has been there for too long. It has been there for too long. I think after this, I think the idea of knight here will have been a little bit more suitable.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. It seems like the opponent has had misplayed it a bit anyway, allowing
Yeah,
some counter chances maybe,
takes
or maybe
knight here
not.
takes. Nope, I don't know why immediately he did that, but knight takes pawn all the same. Why are you not taking that pawn? Can you please tell me why?
Yeah,
Take that. Oh,
yeah.
you now you see. Ah,
Just trying to finesse.
at times the finesse doesn't work like that now. Finesse doesn't work like that. Then you before you know it's going to start dropping things you're not supposed to drop. Black is completely busted there.
Yeah, it seems so.
Knight f6. But why? Why knight g check?
Well,
Can you find the solution to knight f6?
is there a solution to knight f6?
That's a good question
Maybe,
because it's
maybe, maybe you can try queen to c8.
queen queen to
Yeah,
c8.
trying to.
Queen to c8, you start dropping these pawns, right? You drop this pawn here first.
Well, it's not so easy because then there's queen to c6.
Queen to c6.
Like after queen captures on a7, if you don't
Yes, I'm saying it.
capture,
I'm saying queen to c6 idea right now. Oh, so that means, oh, now, okay, now I guess this is, that looks so flashy. I guess now I understand the idea of knight
But
g5 instead.
but there's a very interesting move. I don't know if it does anything. I'm talking about d5 after queen c6. So
Wow, ladies
d5.
and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. Total apologies. We're so engrossed with the game that we did not notice that the one and only FIDE master Paolo Yemi, aka Paolizo, is in the room. Paolizo, how you doing now, Baba? Double
Yeah,
twale.
greetings, sir. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all you
I
do.
just heard a voice that sounded like stockfish. I
Yeah.
was like, who please?
So you now
Uh,
talk fish sounds. I thought that was only Zlatan that will identify how fellow AI sounds like him. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, you were saying, what was the plan you were talking about for Olizo? We missed that
Oh
completely.
yeah, it was mentioned after queen captures on a7. I was mentioning queen to c6, so he was saying pawn to d5, trying to block the diagonal, and then
yeah,
Pawn to
pawn to
obviously following
D5.
it
d5.
up with
Yeah, and I think he's some trouble.
no,
Okay,
not there, not
from
there. Back. The line you were talking about, you were mentioning knight f6 instead of knight
Yeah, with
f4
knight
and
f6.
knight g5.
yes, knight
Yeah, knight
F6.
f6.
Knight F6. You said queen here. I said takes pawn. You said this. Okay, now D5. Yes, this idea.
Yeah, d5. This fine.
Yeah.
But how does this still solve anything? Because this pawn is just going to take just temporarily, and we'll still have the temporary pawn
Yes.
push in the nearest future, right?
Yes, but
So
now
it still,
you can play maybe bishop c6. I mean b6 to create a passer first. Then you can think later.
Bishop
queen
b6
b6, right?
or
Bishop
queen
b6.
d6. You sure queen d6 will
Or
not be better? Are we not
Bishop
too
takes
many pawns up
b6.
yeah, I'm saying
that we
bishop takes
can just
b6. Yeah.
afford? No, because the problem with bishop b6 is that pawn to d4. That's what I was afraid of.
Well, I
Oh,
think
okay.
And
before you do bishop b6, why not just go back here now? And now, if black is saying he wants to come back here, then I think gladly we can just exchange the queens. Queen takes, bishop takes, then now bishop takes this pawn, and we should be smiling to the bank
Yeah, I think you are
because of
winning
these
on the
two
queen
pawns.
side. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you are winning on the queen side. I think this is possible.
yeah,
Yeah, it's possible. So you have
yeah,
like 2 pawns on the queen side that wins. Yeah, you should be
yeah.
able to win.
You should be
Mhm.
smiling to the bank. Yeah. As a matter of fact,
Maybe you
even
can even play queen takes c6 there. I mean, from that point.
I'm a bit in the live position. Actually, I'm a bit confused about why the king is
yeah,
heading to
queen
this.
b6. Yeah.
Except you have calculated it to
Live
the edge.
position, knight
In the
takes.
live, yes,
Oh,
live
knight
position.
checks. This is
No,
interesting. Knight
no.
checks.
Back to live.
But yeah, they got
Yeah,
here now,
I'm wondering
right?
why the
Hold
king.
on, hold on. How did they get there?
Oh,
That's the
okay.
question. Knight g5, check. The king grand. Then knight takes pawn, check. Forcing the queen capture. Queen takes check. Then the knight goes backwards. And but why?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
you can't
easiest
take.
win.
You can't take.
Yeah, but let's go back a move.
Uh huh.
Should the easiest win not have been to just simply play bishop to g5 and exchange all the pawns and you are a, or was there a queen f5 there
No,
which I'm
bishop
struggling?
g5, bishop g5 check ideas, right? Then you need to bring back the bishop again, won't you?
The bishop. Oh, okay.
You have to bring back the bishop again.
Okay,
Uh,
step away. I mean, okay, but this feels too winning to be.
it looks
Feels like
flashy,
you
right?
shouldn't have to
Now,
complicate.
the interesting thing is this queen can take because of this um, bishop pin. So queen check, the bishop blocks right now, and check. I hope there is no perpetual check. I hope there is no perpetual check, but it looks like black is busted. Because this check will stop at one point or the other.
Yeah, but the question is, would it stop favorably for you or for instance, it's also possible to just mistakenly fall into some. Okay, but maybe there's no mate here.
There's no mate.
Like the
There's no
king
mate.
can just
There's no mate.
mistakenly step into some mating.
There's no mate. There's no mate at the moment.
Okay, so
This
maybe
queen
maybe
is to
maybe next is just king to c4, yeah.
king
Yes,
c4,
kick to c4, queen a4.
queen a4 check.
Yeah,
Just
kings
go
to
back.
Checks
b3.
continue. Okay,
Yeah,
king to
bishop
Just go
c4
d2.
back.
check.
Ah, you have to just be.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
black
queen
can
to
just play for a draw.
queen to
No,
No,
queen
there's
d.
bishop d2.
Bishop d2.
Yeah, bishop d2. After your
Bishop
next
d2.
check, I don't think you have much again.
Queen check.
no, but there's
Now
queen
queen
d5.
c2.
Yeah, but there's queen times. Oh, there's no queen times.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
there's
Not
no
yet.
queen times because the knight is
Not
still
yet.
hanging, so you have
So
time.
it is this check. It is
No,
this
you can
check.
go b. Okay, there's queen times there. That's true.
Now you can. Now you can. You can't. Even, you can take this pawn now, can't you?
No, you don't want to take pawns. I think you just want to, if you have a perpetual, just continue. Is it not possible to play queen h1 check and
Why am
continue
I? What?
harassing
Queen h1 check. Okay, the king goes back up. Yeah,
and
and you
then
just.
continue the
But what about this
the
idea?
checks?
So where is the check?
No,
Yeah, but
no, you
Now
have
you
is
now
that not
d5.
why
force.
Queen
we're
takes d5.
You now force this. Takes.
although
Oh,
that
But you
end
can
game,
go queen d1. I think it's still
I think
possible.
that
You can
end
go.
game, I think this end game, let's go to continue this line.
this one. Jack.
Let's continue this line. Yeah, continue.
This.
Yeah, continue. This end game should be completely lost for black. I mean, because the king is so active, king c4 now, and then you just win the end game, I think.
King c4.
Yeah. I mean, how should
Oh,
is a
that's true.
pawn
There's no
down
square.
and
There's no square. There's no square. There's no square. You have to go back. Uh,
yeah, and I think this should be a winning pawn end
no,
game.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
and this should be a
I,
winning end game. You're an extra
no,
pawn, and
no, it's not. It's not. It's not that easy, bro. You
I
can't go
think
in
that
yet.
this is pretty easy.
So what will
Wait,
you
I
play
think
right now?
this is
Yeah, I
trivial.
think so. I
Yeah, you
think
can
black,
just play for
white
the
will win.
plan of you can play for the plan of bishop e3, pawn a4, pawn a5, and then break the queen side, and then you would win easily. Yeah, just bishop
Bishop
e3,
e3.
pawn a4, pawn a4, pawn
So
a5, and that
how do we
should
go
be
here?
too easy to win. The
Pawn
I don't
a4.
think yeah,
Pawn a5.
yeah, I don't see
No, the bishop.
I don't see it.
It's not that easy to win, bro.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's easy to win. I feel you can even take on b6. Why can't you take on b6?
First, at the expense of the bishop.
Can you take on b6? You can't. Okay, bishop to d4 is just fine. Bishop d4 is fine.
Ah, okay.
But this is just trivially winning. I don't see
Yeah,
why.
no,
I don't
I
even
think
see where the problem is. This is
I
trivially
agree,
winning. If
small.
you have a
I agree,
bishop
small.
and an extra pawn, and the pawns are on both sides, this is the
Yeah,
end game that you want to would win this eyes closed.
just
Because
just some
the
moves.
bishop can, yeah, the bishop can stop the pawns on the king side while also, you know, making progress on the queen side. So
We even need to take this one.
you can take it, you can do whatever. Okay, let's go back to the live position. I feel like that end game is just winning. I just wanted to point that out.
Hmm.
You are trying to find ways to lose for white. That's what you're thinking. Because I don't know why. There's some
Okay,
moves that you
so
made, I don't know, but okay.
check, 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 check.
No,
Uh,
live. I think this is our own analysis. Yeah, so this
yes,
is the
it's
current
live.
position.
I'm going back. It's live. These are the live moves. Here, here, here. Check, 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 check. Of course, that's the only way now. That's what we're thinking. It's live. It's check,
No,
live,
this is not
check.
the live position.
Are you sure?
It was. Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, but I just said go back to live, and I guess it's
So this
not.
is the
Okay.
live. Then this
Oh,
this
okay,
is
okay.
where it is. Then
I get
we'll
it. I
continue
get
that
it.
on our analysis.
I
Yeah.
get it. So queen check. Okay, so queen check. So queen check. Just go for the pepe and smile to the bank and be like, ah, God, you are so good. And today's Sunday.
Yes.
Palm Sunday for
But
that matter. Whoa! What about queen takes pawn check?
maybe he feels he can. I don't even know what he
Now
feels.
this is this
Maybe he
this is
feels.
gonna cost. This is gonna be problematical. King here check, queen here check. If king here,
Solves all the problems. Yeah, it solves all
Yeah,
yeah.
the
black
problem.
is.
You have only F2
White
for
is.
check. F2.
Yeah, white is trying to. White is trying to lose. I think.
F2 right now, and is that's all. You don't have checks again after bishop e3.
Queen
That's
d2
very
check.
good.
Queen. I mean queen f2 check. But bishop also
Yeah, then
blocks.
bishop e3. So no more checks.
No, but I don't
Wow.
get it. Okay, queen. No, 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 no. Continues. Queen f2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bishop
queen
Oh,
e3,
so he
and
f2
you
has
don't
too
check.
have
many
checks.
pawns.
Bishop
No,
blocks.
no, no, no. What I meant was, yes, I understand. I was looking at queen f7. I understand that bishop can block. I was looking at queen f7. The
Queen
line
f7.
continues. Yeah,
Queen f7.
that was what I was. And you have taken a
Ah.
pawn and you are threatening to play knight f5, which is winning the queen. That's the point of my play.
Oh. Oh, now I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So
Knight f5
that
with the
was why I
queen.
was not so sure about what black is doing and white is doing here. I
But
don't
the
know if
king
he
can
was
easily
trying
just
to win.
wipe.
If
The king can easily just go back, go here now, can't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just steps away from your potential knight
yeah, but can
f5
you now
threat.
continue? Yeah, but can you now continue the checks again? Queen f1 check.
And what are you going to do first? It's about what you are going to do first.
Queen, queen. Yeah, queen f1 check. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, queen f1 check. Okay, so you have to continue the checks again. Now I get it.
Yeah, that's
But I mean,
why.
I don't think we have to really worry about Queen F7. That's just one quiton in that position. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
so
it's not. It's not. No, 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 no. But it's not about the piton. It's about like you wanted to protect the knight and also have it's. They're trying to protect the knight because if not, if you don't play that, then the knight is just going to be captured for free. So it's
yeah,
we're
so
trying to
just
protect the
play.
knight and break the
Okay,
pawn.
we can play E6 right now because of the same knight F5. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
I
we can
get it
play
now.
six because it's knight f5, yeah. But hold on a
So
second. We said here, right? You
Yeah,
said
so we can have a
queen check.
stupid position. Mm.
yeah, but yeah, queen b1 check. Yeah, so it seems like you just give up a pawn and you didn't really solve the problem of the position because now there's queen a2 check and maybe it might even now be possible to capture on d5. Maybe. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
but
now possible.
this might
No,
not
you
be
don't want to
good
capture on
because
d5, bro.
don't capture on D5
Maybe. I didn't
because
say I didn't say I didn't say it was a good move. I said maybe.
yeah, this is now much more. The end game is sweeter now. It's easier
Yes.
to navigate that place.
So from here, what's next? Another queen
Yeah,
check.
maybe queen e2 check. Yeah. And this
This
one, it
bishop
seems
is
you're even
hanging.
dropping. Okay.
No, you're not dropping
You have to
anything.
be
No.
careful.
Nothing. We are not dropping. Baba. Seems like it's trouble. Oh.
A6. Oh, A6. What are you going to do after pawn to A6? White is the
A6.
one trying to lose here. Yeah, yeah. Because what are you going to capture with?
I would. What? Can't I capture with the king?
You can. When queen captured on C4 check.
Yeah, this check. This one is still there, right? Then we push this one forward. King forward.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I don't want to take it. Just want to go forward because I want to keep an eye on this guy.
Okay, yeah, still looking at that guy.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on this guy.
Okay, king
And now
F8
this
maybe. Or queen.
king
King
f8.
F8 maybe. Yeah, maybe.
King f8. King f8. Do I like your
Maybe
no
bishop
bishop
G5.
check?
Okay,
Uh,
king E8.
King e8, right? Can't I now chase this knight away? What is he going to
I
achieve?
don't think so.
No, I
Knight
can't because
C6
of
check.
it. Knight c6 check and ridiculous queen back here. Um,
Yeah, but
Find
I
time
have a
to check.
feeling. I have a feeling that white is playing a bit too fast here. Like in the actual game, that it's possible that black will win this game. I feel like
That's a
white is
check.
playing a bit too fast. Because with 49 minutes on your clock, I feel you should just sit down, figure out everything, and then make the moves. But here it seems like you're just they check you, you move, they check you, you move, they check you, you move. It doesn't seem coherent, the plan of but okay. King F7 you can play. Yeah, in this
King
position.
F7 in this position, right?
Yeah.
So you play King F7.
Oh, okay. That is that a mate? That's mate. No, 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 that's not mate. King D7.
Thank you. So King D7,
Yeah, King D7.
right? Then do we still have this queen check?
No, no, no. I think that's just mate. Go back a bit.
E6. E6 wins.
E6 is just mate.
E6
Yeah.
is just a bit. I was wondering what's going on there. So
Yeah.
white can stop the perpetual. So there is no perpetual yet. We've not seen the
Yeah.
moves
But
that got to perpetual. So this pawn sack
the
is actually a good move.
yeah, but black white player does not have the luxury of moving the pieces around like we do.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. No, this one will be terrible. This will be terrible.
Okay, so let's see the live position. What's happening in the live?
So live and direct is this check. So we are exactly here. So it should move. Um, it should move back in.
So we're saying to B3.
Yeah,
My
to
doubt
B
It's
is if
to
such
the
a
B3.
scary.
opponent is able to see Queen F7 because that's a powerful move and very tricky. Queen
No, but Queen
F7
F7 has already been played, and
in the
then
game, right?
opponent
They
now
played
plays
it
Yes,
in
I
the
it.
game.
played
Yeah, and
it.
then
She played it in the
yeah,
game, and the king had to step away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played in the game and
and
got
then
step
Queen
away. So
F1,
this is
which
it.
is following the analysis that we had. But the
Yeah,
thing is that as white, you'll be so scared to allow all these checks. Like the line we just looked at where there was a pawn to A6 check. It feels very scary to allow such
yeah,
such things on the
yeah,
board.
yeah.
But okay.
Of course, especially when you're even playing against a high
The
rated player.
where is he from? Achim Bacha is from where? Okay, so by the way, in the game Abdurrahman, he has already
It's from
we have
Chad.
a result already. Yeah, we have a result already. After the atrocious move that lost an
Uh,
exchange.
that's after the bishop.
Um,
After the bishop went for exactly bishop takes rook,
yes,
and
yeah.
it's
So
of course just check rook takes knight. Just hold on to the pin. With what? Why not?
yeah, so
Let's change. Of course, why not? How can you stop that? Check from happening. Pawn takes again, and now pawn push. This is completely.
yeah, pawn push, threatening pawn to
Uh,
E7, and yeah. So that
this is
was that
funny.
was
This
that looks
is.
like an easy day. So there was just
It wasn't an easy day like that actually. But at least.
well, yes. After the opening, it looked like it might be a long game. I was talking about
Yes.
how both sides will have to maneuver, but it just seems like Abdurrahman was maneuvering while Torise was just moving her pieces to very terrible squares, and
Yeah.
she was punished.
This pawn push was this B5. That was the.
But apart from the pawn push, the fact that the knight is on D7, the knight, is on D7, and it's not. It was the knight was supposed to be preventing knight D5. Abdurrahman had maneuvered these pieces excellently. Okay,
Yeah,
so
and that's it.
I
This
think
is it.
is there a rest day for them?
No rest. No rest for the weekend.
But that's actually not ideal. It's
Anyways, it's
that is a
let
very
me how would I
difficult
put
game.
it?
You need to
Remember,
rest somehow.
remember immediately they finish this tournament. They will finish on the 16th. The last one's on the 16th in the morning, right? And
Yeah.
there's NFOC coming up on the 17th.
But of course,
So
if a lot of these people that are there who are saying will just skip NFOC and just get some rest. But okay,
yeah, but
because
no,
it's difficult to it's actually to play against strong players day in day out, and yes, it's difficult. I
Ah,
can tell you that for
she
sure.
went back. She went back to D4.
No,
Or is it E
I
rather?
mean,
E, sorry, E went back to
Achim
D4.
Bacha. Yeah,
So the queen is coming
I
back here again.
once
And they should be
I think I
fighting
once
for
played him in the
the
AICC. It was a
0.2.
very difficult game.
Was AICC. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
let's see what happens in the tennising game. We didn't check that for a while. It seems like a
And
lot of things have happened.
and here tennising is
If we can go back
wow.
to our previous position, after Queen
And
C4,
this after queen C4, of course, this queen C4, bishop went back, queen takes pawn, bishop takes, rook lifts,
yeah, rook to E4.
queen goes back, obviously, rook to G4, queen went back, knight in there attacking the bishop just slightly goes back to G7, and H4 will counterattack
Okay,
it,
playing.
E4. Okay, beautiful. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. I really love it. Wow. Okay. Wow. Is that not a rook takes pawn check kind of idea? Is that not scary?
Yeah,
Wait, hold on a second. Why is this not scary?
but
Oh,
once
it isn't. It
he's
isn't. It isn't because of rook because of this rook takes pawn. And the queen is at the back here. Rook takes this pawn and the queen is there. Did you get it? Let me show you. Rook takes pawn. Check. After pawn takes. Queen takes bishop, right? There is no mate, obviously.
yeah. I mean, the best white can get there is a perpetual check.
But you can't even get the perpetual check.
Some
Queen takes. Queen takes check. King just moves away. You can't even get a perpetual check. Check. Um, Queen back here, so queen takes. Rook goes back here. So we're good.
okay. So in the
There is one more game that we've not touched actually. The game between Amako Mark Arnold versus WFM Sana of Prakash Kaya of Uganda. We did not actually touch that game. I'm so sorry. Let's quickly check it. And we have the E4. I think this is the only opening that we have the Scotch, the E4 opening. Every other player have been
yeah,
playing D4, I think. D4, C4.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So he
here,
plays
Rook
with the same
Prince.
idea he played yesterday.
Yes, knight here.
Where
Of course, knight takes rook. I mean, knight takes knight. And let's say maybe there is a knight takes bishop. Is this is just okay, okay, okay.
okay, so
Uh, I'm not understanding now. Takes knight here,
okay, so Tennyson is the one fighting for a draw. Yeah.
knight here. What's going on? This position is just bishop takes pawn. Doesn't want that. Takes rook check king up and why don't you take your own pawn now? Is there any reason why white is not taking the pawn on G7? Anybody help me out here?
Maybe she's
Um,
afraid of the majority on that side.
Yeah, but she
And
also has majority on this side now.
especially, possibly, she might be scared of losing the C2 pawn. So possibly. They played the same line yesterday. Is this the girl from Ivory Coast, Abby?
Yes, no, the guy. I think it's a guy. Is Amako a girl? I think I'm not sure.
Okay, this same line
No,
was played
Amako is a
yesterday.
Was played yesterday. Yes, something similar was. Oh, I did not watch the game
Yeah, the
yesterday.
girl from Cote d'Ivoire played this line yesterday in our game.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, then Amako is a girl. Then she's the same person.
Amayo, is it Amayo
Yeah,
or something? A M E
Amako
Y
Mark.
O
I
U.
don't know. Oh no, not that one. This one is A M X
No,
K
this
O.
one is she's Ivorian.
Okay. And at the end of the day, we still end up in that same position that we thought she would be running away from. And here we go. Now she has lost all the points there.
okay, but white is safe.
What's going on? What sort of chess is this? Okay. Oh, seems this game is going to end up a draw.
Yeah. There's nothing. I think the only um excitement. Okay, I think there's still one more game we haven't looked at.
One more game. I think we've looked at all the games one by one. We've looked at Storiche, we've looked at Tennyson, we've looked at Sulaiman. Oh, that's true. There's one more game. There is one more player, and Nasir, WIM Nasir, playing against Ayemao of Cote d'Ivoire as well. Okay, this is going to be a top nut to crack for the Ivorian based on their rating differences, I believe. 1831, 100 rating points difference, and this is also the Scotch. I think what is been their opening repertoire in Cote d'Ivoire right now is the Scotch, because these wonderful players have been playing the Scotch back to back. Can you please explain this? Like we said.
Well, I think both of them are on their own and they are just winging it. I'm
Okay,
not sure this.
because it's actually
There's a line where the king stays in the center, but I don't think it's here. So I think both of them are just winging it and having
because at the
fun.
moment it was actually looking like freestyle chess. Seeing two rooks there, pawns
Yeah.
there. Okay, castle.
The only thing I can say is along the line you will see that white is trying to exchange queens. So the only thing
Ah,
I can say about the position is okay, because the king is in the center, generally white does not want queens on the board. So he wants to exchange queens. If he can successfully exchange queens, then he won't be too afraid of anything happening to his king. But black refuses and keeps the queens on the board, even maybe at the cost of a pawn, just trying to play for the attack on the king. I think that's the only major thing I can say about this position. It's difficult to delve
oh,
into. It's difficult to delve into 5 games.
there's a problem. There's a problem. Look at this position. After pawn attack the queen, pawn attack the queen, and black here. Oh, it isn't a problem. Isn't that a problem? Oh, look at that trick. Look at that trick. Look at that trick. Looks like you're getting a rook,
Okay,
right?
the bishop h5 check.
Yeah, it looks like you're taking a rook, but black, white, really. I mean, black has some other plans. Let me show the audience. Queen takes rook, check. If this queen takes rook, then we have bishop check, and suddenly, GG's. Where the queen is gone. So, let's see if black did not. Oh, it didn't fall for it. It went back. Guys, give me a second. I'll be back. Just 1 second.
All right. All right. So um,
Not, oh,
nothing much happening. Okay, well, not that nothing much is happening, but somehow because the game is on the lower rated board, we haven't really paid much attention to it. But it's actually also an interesting battle between both players. Um,
problem.
okay, so
Uh-huh.
as we said, we have the first result. Abdurrahman has won against Torisha in where she blundered if the exchange. And the game between Tennyson and Wafa Shruk is looking like it's heading directly towards a draw. Um, Suleiman Azumi Aisha is trying to find. She was trying to find a draw earlier in the position, but now somehow queens have been exchanged. Actually, in the current position, it seems queens have been exchanged, and yeah, we have an interesting position for us.
Okay, back here. Thank you very much for keeping the live
If we
stream
can go
on.
back to this Aisha game,
I'm already at the
because
Aisha
things
game
have
because
happened on that board.
the Aisha game. Yes, queen check, 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 check. Oh, knight it took.
So she decided to capture on. She decided to capture on d5. But I think we were discussing that this endgame looks a bit lost for.
Yes, and this was exactly what we. This is where we what we analyzed in this position. We were actually looking at King just strolling in and munching the remaining pawns
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
here,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why the king is going through that side. Why
or
not
even
a6?
right here, or even a simple maybe just kick this knight away first before those movements. Maybe just kick this knight away, then you can now move in to get the
Yeah, but
pawn.
yeah, king c6 also makes some sense. Yeah, yeah. So it's king
Now I remember
d6.
the reason why I was advocating for c6 and making c6 in the first place was just in case black decides to maybe play this pawn forward, then I'll be able to just put the king here and advocate for pushing this pawn, and kick the knight away and try to promote to a queen with this pawn e on e5 instead, which is a little bit closer to the queen square. And that was why I was looking at this square, this
Yeah,
square, this
but
square.
okay. So the is the end game completely clear? I don't think so. I think
And
it's
well, in
possible
this
to play
king six.
king e6, or to just immediately play g5 and h4 and try
I
going for
think
some counterplay. Try the
black
counter.
should start. I think black should start just to try to
Yes,
rush for a
g5
counter play.
h4.
Yeah, G5 H4. Yes, G5 king takes pawn
Okay,
H4.
let's make some moves on the board. Yeah,
Okay, let's say G5, right? Then king takes pawn.
uh,
Then H4.
h4.
Right. If H4,
King captures
the
h4.
question is, should I take immediately or I should leave it alone?
Yes, yes. No, no, no.
Let me leave it
Take
alone.
on h4.
Why should I take immediately? I don't know. Maybe you understand. Why should I take immediately?
I think trying to play King A6 in that position is rushing the position. Like you could play slowly and still
Yes,
try to get something
yes,
interesting out of the
exactly.
position. So I think you should go through
Yeah,
C6
but
and create a
no, 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 no.
bind
But the
with
problem is
D5.
that's the move that the white player has played already. King a6.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, king
okay.
A6. Yes, king A6.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay, okay.
okay. From here, Lakote on this point. Can you share? Oh, um, your take regarding just C4 immediately.
Okay, so let's go to the live position. Things have happened on the board, so we can't really discuss too much, unfortunately.
Okay,
Like
okay.
things have happened on the board. So
If we go to the
g5,
live
king times
position,
a7 has been played.
there's takes A7. No, no, no. But like, this is what's on the live position. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying just see. Um, is Blackstone to play? I believe, isn't it? A4. Yes, A4 has been played in the live position. Can you see that? And this is exactly what I was calculating. Now you were saying that we should just take immediately. Take six.
Yeah,
But I'm saying don't take yet. Just or even why
or you can
not?
play pawn to b5 maybe.
Pawn B5, yes, pawn B5. Pawn B5.
Or if you are looking for like clarity, like if you are white, you are looking for clarity. You just want to take. Like it feels like the first thing you will calculate forcing moves, and the forcing move is just to take. Like it's possible that you come back to the conclusion that the finesse is good with not taking. somehow, taking is the forcing move. Oh,
And
anyway,
because
it's
you said the,
it's how we usually calculate.
you said the forcing move of taking there. I'm actually looking at it from the perspective of after pawn takes, right? Pawn takes. Then what's next? What are you gonna do next? What is the idea? Pawn
B5
takes, okay, pawn takes, right? B5, right?
and then B5.
B5. Then
Yeah.
I push this pawn. Now what?
Bishop G1.
Now bishop G1. Suddenly the bishop is now going back there to start defending things. Now isn't this looking drawish right now based on that knight takes pawn?
Okay, king times B6.
Yes, king times B6, right? So I can gladly take this, bring the king closer, take the pawn, and it's drawn.
Yeah, but in that variation, you are the one, you are even risking losing.
Oh, now, okay, in the other variation
No,
of
the
not taking the
variation you were
pawn,
talking. Yeah,
of not
yeah.
taking the pawn.
Okay,
Okay,
let's go
so
back. After G3, okay,
after
B5
this
immediately.
thing, I'm playing b5 immediately. Then you take, right? You take. Then
No,
I
no, no,
push this
pawn
pawn
push, pawn
forward.
push, pawn push. No, 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 pawn push,
Oh, you're gonna push the pawn.
pawn push. Yeah,
Oh, now I see this pawn. No, this is not calculated.
that's what I mean, that you are risking losing. So I'm not sure
Now
why
this
you are
wasn't
not taking the
calculated.
pawn.
Now this was I wasn't calculating. I was looking at it from the perspective of even if the pawn takes the pawn, then of course pawn
No, 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 no.
push
You're
is
not. You're
stopping
not.
this
You're
pawn from
not. You
going
are
anywhere.
keeping the H pawn.
Yeah, now
So
I
sorry,
get
can you
that.
Not the.
sorry, can you go back one move after B5? After you played, I mean, when you play pawn takes pawn,
Pawn
pawn
takes
takes
pawn, pawn
pawn,
takes pawn. Yeah,
and you now play
b5, right?
B5, Abby. Yeah,
Yeah,
you played
b5.
B5. So
Yes,
knight takes C3 is possible immediately here. Knight takes C3. Yeah, so
Knight
because you
takes
can't meet up with
C3.
the pawn if it gets to H2.
Yeah, but still,
it's
yeah,
still
but still,
drawn.
you just play king captured on B6. Yeah.
It's still drawn.
Okay.
It's still
I think
drawn.
knight
I'll
knight
glad
times
I'll
B5.
gladly I'll just gladly I'll
No,
gladly
just
go for
play.
the
I
draw.
think you should just play king move right now. King move
Where
to
where?
E6.
King
King
e6?
E6. Yeah, draw. Is
Yeah, king
drawn. Yeah.
E6 is
King
fine. Yeah.
e6 is drawn. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
All,
It's
all,
drawn. Just
Yeah, yeah.
it's just drawn. But okay,
Okay.
let's look at another idea. Another idea is the c4 immediately.
okay. What's the point? Knight times B4.
Knight times b, of course. Knight times b.
I mean, I think you can still leave it. You can leave it. No,
King
don't take
b.
it. Just play H3 straight. You still want to go H2. If the pawn goes, I queen before you
No,
now. So I still have time for knight takes before. You can't take it immediately.
yes. Now bishop c
H3.
goes back here. Yes, you still have to
Now
knight
I'll take.
b4. Knight takes. Then
Mm.
king takes.
And now king E6.
King e6. King here maybe.
Yeah, the knight B now is safe now with knight D3. Anyone you push, I'm just going to slam on it.
Knight d3.
Yeah, so it gives me enough time to take all the
Knight
pawns
d3.
and
Knight d3. Bishop here.
it's not solving anything now. The guy will slam on the bishop now.
Oh, that's true. Knight c takes pawn. Knight c
Mm-hmm.
takes pawn. Bishop takes king takes, and this is good now. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on, you guys find me the winning move. But actually, as a matter of fact, this is what happened in the game. What happened in the game was different. Um, this was played. Wait, what? This was played though.
Yeah, but it's still a draw.
Yes, still drawn. Still drawn. It's still drawn.
Yeah, maybe exchanging queens on was not. Maybe like White did not find the best way to. White did not to fight for the win. Yes, I
Wow.
felt like he was a bit impatient.
Wow. For it's actually a wonderful it's a good result for Sulaiman getting a draw from from that position. That
Yeah,
she was in a total she was in total problems. And Well, that's just for you. Um, you escape sometimes, sometimes you don't. Ah, yes, that reminds me, Paulizo, thank you very
Definitely.
much. You did a you wrote an application, or let me say a program that is actually helping players on how to schedule their gameplay improvement. Can you please share what actually led to it, please? I know you were not expecting this question, but can you please share what actually led to that app that you developed for chess players to improve their game? It's only here. I think he's muted at the moment. Paulizo. Okay, I think probably we have to wait till he comes back to come and give us to give us the backstory regarding that. To give us the backstory regarding that video. I mean the application that really helps Nigerian. I mean any player in the whole world to play, and it's actually completely free. Have you seen the app? Like we said, have you checked it?
No,
Oh,
no, I will check it out. Then.
you said?
I said I haven't, but I'll check it out. By the way,
Yeah,
it seems like Tennyson has gotten into some very difficult um, situation.
it's something. You see this chess, interestingly, you look at positions, you'll be like, "Oh, white is good," and 5 minutes later, you come back and black is already better. Because we're looking at it from this perspective before now, which was it was takes. We saw this. Okay, he now took. Okay, okay, this is interesting. It took, and now king has to take. Bishop takes. Knight back here. Rook here. King out. Bishop here. Check. Is there any reason why the king has to go back? Is there any, why can't the king come to a6, h6 rather?
I don't know if Tennyson knows that. I
Wait,
think there's a second
oh,
time control. So I'm surprised that after he got to move 40, he didn't take some time to figure out how to draw the position like
yeah, because
easily,
now he's having 25 minutes and
and he lost position.
it's rook check check.
Okay, I will quickly take maybe like a 5 minute break. I need to um,
100%.
attend to
We give you the opportunity to take a 5 minutes break. Thank you very much, Mr. Like maybe by the time you even finish your break, all the games are over. I'm looking at Sulaiman's game right now. It seems that she has lost some time.
no, she couldn't have lost her time. She has 30 seconds and she's on move 48. So she's on move what? She's on move 59, so she should have enough time. No, no, she didn't lose on time. Definitely not. I think
Maybe
most
she
likely
didn't lose on time. Probably they
because
should
she's
have
already in the
agreed.
second time control.
They should have agreed to a draw at the moment.
Yeah. Right. So please give me a moment. I will be back.
Okay, thank you
Very
very
much.
much, Lakosela Rotimi. Yeah, we'll be waiting for you. You can just mute temporarily. And in the meantime, let us quickly use this opportunity to make a shout out to the sponsors or partners of this wonderful tournament of ours. And we are looking at FIDE at the board. This is our mother of for this event, and we are having ACC itself. Let me quickly just remove my guy from here so that we won't be saying that. And we also have, sorry about that, apologies. We also have no other person but the National Sports Commission of Nigeria also in there. And we also have Chelsea Slums. Thank you very much for joining, for partnering and sports supporting. City at Luxury Hotel right there in Ikeja. Thank you very much, Nigeria. We have the NCF and we have Rights Foods. Thank you very much for making this tournament happen. And this guy supported this event back to back. Yes, and also to NCF. I think a wonderful kudos goes to NCF for making this as smooth as it is. All the players have been given nothing but good news or good reviews regarding the tournament so far. So good. Let us go back to the games and see what is actually really going on. I think I'm still here with FIDE Master Fawole and John, aka Fawolizo, and we can still launch things together. Why are you clapping, Yan? my, my God, she's really clapping. Okay, Sulaiman Azumi, the time is back, and again we have this position for for both of them. I think it's just a draw. We just don't need to disturb ourselves over this position anymore. It is anything now that um is actually looking for a way to survive this position right now, because I'm saying king, I'm saying king to what? Why do I need to see king? I just need to see. Can I see knight check? Or even king can take a pawn. And this position is no longer good for Tennessee at the moment. At the moment, Tennessee is not looking good. Honestly, it is looking busted. And to the final player, Nasir. We've not checked Nasir's final position. From here, um, I think we stopped at where. Okay, okay. So we've been at the position. Oh, geez. Hold on a sec. Uh, um, I need to attend to something is urgent. Give me a second. I'll be back. Thanks. Babe, sorry now. I didn't want the door to open abnormally for Yanni to step out. When I saw your call, I had to drop it quickly because I ran up to be a father. I did not hear. I didn't. So like, so far, so that's good enough. Ọjà wo mo máa ń lọ? So far. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Babe, give me your hand. Show man. Come here. Tẹ̀sí gbogbo ara. Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ pàkí ni? Fuck three àbí fuck rubbish. Uh, Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. I have to just quickly attend to it. Mr. Sharif Darabola, thank you very much. I'm saying knight h2 is better. And what just happened? I'm seeing something that is very funny. Why am I going back to the beginning? Nope, it's not supposed to be the beginning. We're supposed to be at this wonderful square where there was a trick. Yes, this trick. I remember this trick when takes rook and bishop check was looming, and we have this instead and this position. I guess a free queen. I mean, guess a free pawn. Wow, I like this idea. Locking the bishop out, but the rook can protect. Bishop check here. Why not just push this pawn there two steps forward, maybe? Just maybe. Check here. Bishop here check. Bishop takes another free pawn. Rook attacks the queen. Check. Ow, that's the problem. Now he loses the rook. Um he loses the pawn push. Now he's working on his pass pawn. If a piece down, three pass pawns, one pass pawn, and let's see what's going to happen. This is going to be very interesting. This is very interesting in game. But I'm not seeing any winner um for for white. And here is this the part where you play queen, you play queen. Uh, this doesn't work. How about this one? It still doesn't work because you can't even take this rook. This bishop is defending conveniently. I don't know. I honestly don't know what is going to happen in there. How about rook lifts? Rook lift also happen. This happens to rook lift. I think black should just play. No, you can't do that yet. You can't do that yet. Maybe rook to c8. Attacking the queen. Just maybe. Maybe rook to c8 attacking the queen. Just maybe. That's the only thing I can see that makes half sense. Mr. Sharif Demola, thank Daramola, thank you very much. Um, Unfortunately, the live feed we couldn't get it anymore because of some unforeseen circumstances. We're supposed to be able to see the pains in the eyes of the the players as they're making their moves. Um, but right now we can't. So what happened in the game? Exactly. Now the idea is an attack on the bishop and an attack on the rook, but it still doesn't work. If only it won't still work because this queen is still looking to this place. So we need to move this bishop away as fast as possible. Mm, yeah, we need to move away as fast as possible. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Once Paoli comes back here, we'll ask him exactly the idea um, behind the application that he built for chess players around the world to improve. It was a nice initiative from him. And most definitely, I think I'll probably be looking forward to another Joe Paoli Awards um, coming soon, maybe. We'll also ask. Yes, we'll ask. Yes, queen check is looming. Queen check is completely looming. Bishop can now take this pawn. Queen can take this pawn. Mm. In fact, it's so funny that with this pawn here, this rook can take this pawn. Rook takes pawn. Rook takes pawn. Rook takes pawn. Rook takes pawn. This is very fun. This would be a fantastic move. Rook takes pawn. Who was seeing that tactic? Because if the rook takes, I wasn't even looking at that. this is even this is even completely crushing. I was looking at rook takes pawn, and for the rook to take back at one point, they have this queen check, and but this is completely crushing because now you're having queen check and queen mate. I think we should call it a day. This is a wrap. That was a beautiful tactic by Nasir Lena here. I was looking at rook takes pawn. You may just imagine. Looking at rook takes pawn, and that is actually there with him. And in this scenario, queen takes rook, check, king takes, bishop takes queen, and the game is still completely over. Yep, it's like, yeah, okay. But why is it rook f1? Yes, just queen takes rook. You don't need to waste time over these simple moves. Queen takes rook, it's a check. The king has to take. Then bishop takes a queen. This king moves up. This pawn moves somewhere here. It doesn't affect the price of Gary in the market just because you just have to put your rook here. Because if this pawn decides to go one step forward, the bishop just takes the pawn, and this one is hanging, and it's just GG's. Game over. Hmm. Let's go back to tennis, please.
Yeah, in the previous position, more interesting is Queen G4 because you need to resign after Queen G4. You don't need to take the
Oh, oh,
rook.
oh, hold on a
So
second.
Queen G4 is threatening checkmate. So your queen is still under attack and you can't save it.
Oh, hold on a second. Okay, wait. Oh, from which position are you talking about? This one?
After Bishop E4, you said Rook F1, right?
Yes.
Now
Oh,
Queen
Queen
G4.
G4.
Yeah, you're threatening checkmate
Oh,
and the queen is still hanging, so nothing to play.
oh, this is even far. So even I was going through the simplest route of just queen takes, I mean, queen takes, rook takes, then bishop takes, and holding on to all these diagonals. So this bishop, these pawns can never ever promote. But that's why you are the FM now.
Uh,
Yeah, that is why you're the FM. Because right now there is nothing imagined. Look at it. Even pawn check first. They check first, then I think rook can come here, can't it? Oh no.
Bishop G4. I mean, Bishop takes G2 after.
Yeah, bishop takes due to alpha. This light square bishop, these pawns are just looking so ridiculous at the moment. He's not even taking. Um,
Yeah, he can queen if he wants
you can
and
just
take the bishop.
queen, then put the bishop back here. The bishop just holds that diagonal. There is no way any of these pawns are going to promote, and the king can come in and take them from the rear. Just
Yeah, because he still has the extra rook, so he can
just
cut
have
them
the
off.
yes. There's one more rook. Can you imagine? We even have one more rook. So rook takes, then the rook just goes back here, bishop goes back here, then rook just comes from the back and just start picking them one by one like flies. And GG's, game over. Okay, so before now, we were asking that can you thank you for the application that you just did, which was a wonderful one. It's a very very creative one actually. But we're trying to like ask you in person, what led to the idea, what led to you, what inspired. Let's do that. What inspired building that sort of application, and what even still inspired you making it completely free for everybody in the whole world.
Oh, okay. I was trying to develop something for personal use, like because of work-life balance these days, I don't have enough time to concentrate on chess, and there's no way for me to track what I've been doing. So I thought about this, like I need an accountability application that I can use personally, just to see, like, okay, if I do 20 puzzles today or spend 20 minutes on chess today, I should be able to document it and track my progress in terms of hours or the minutes or the kind of hard work that I put in. So it was more of a personal project and I had it in mind for a very long time. So, and the opportunity came, you know, and that's why we did that.
Wow, that was very very touching. It was very very inspiring. I actually shared it with some chess players in Ibadan here, but they should start using it.
Wow.
Yeah, they should use it. Just use it to track the progress. Yeah,
Mm.
I won't be able to. I might not be able to use it for children. For because of school reasons, but the adults, of course. Come on, just
Yes,
make
there
it
are
work.
still
Yeah.
so many features to be added. Like, for example, if you put in a task, like let's say I want to do puzzle for 20 minutes, right?
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
we call it accountability app, and you are supposed to do exactly what you said you would do. But we don't have that feature right now that shows that you actually did what you are supposed to do. So when you put in a
Mm.
task and say, okay, I'm going to run chess puzzle for 20 minutes, and
Hmm.
maybe after 20 minutes you didn't do anything and you come back and check it marked, right? It
Hmm.
shows that you've completed the task. So
Mm.
one of the features we're going to introduce is a timer. So when you create a task, and the task has been created, there's going to be a timer in front of it based on the time that you put for the task. Let's say puzzle, for example, or I want to look at middle game for 30 minutes. So that 30 minutes is going to be in front of the task. And I can't go ahead with the task without starting the timer. So the
Mm,
timer now keeps counting down. It means now I'm actually working on what I said I would do. You get it, and
yeah,
it's up to you to like now do exactly what you say you will do, because when you start the timer, it means you are actually working. You get it? That we assume that you're actually working. So
yeah.
that's another feature we are planning to put there. But the way it is, once you just register, the only problem there is we are not putting it in cloud yet, so that you can move from one device to the other. But if you register on your uh, or I mean on your device, like a laptop or anything, the thing is still going to be there for you. It's saved on your local, and you can see everything that you do from that application. But apart from that, if you try to like start from a new device, let's say you go to the website and you start from a new device, you are not going to see exactly what you have on the other device. You get, because it's not backed up with cloud in the cloud. You get, so those are some of the features that we can improve on later. But for now, I think it just work fine. You get, and even if you do a task today and you want to do another one tomorrow, let's say I did something yesterday and I'm starting another one today. Now we've introduced something that makes sure that all the dates are separated based on the task. So
Mm.
it's very interesting.
Yeah, very, very interesting, and that's a wonderful, very wonderful initiative. By you there. There is one more. Okay, maybe two more. Let me see. Maybe two more things before you run out of the house. Number one, let us talk about the Nigerian rating. App that you are actually working on because many Nigerians have been anticipating to have this kind of a thing. You know, we have our own local rating system. For you to have taken up the initiative, of course, we did it in the time past, but it was on a manual level. But this time around, it's going at a far, far bigger scale. Can you share the updates regarding the national retain app that you are working on? So every Nigerian is actually watching.
Okay, yeah, that's a very interesting question. Yeah, thank you very much. So we've been talking about the Nigerian rating system since maybe 5 years now,
Hmm.
and the idea came from chess improvements, like having people use their local rating before they can participate in FIDE rated tournaments. And I see it's a very common trend here. You see very younger people who are highly rated, USCF rated, and when they launch into FIDE, their rating is really going to go up like 2400, because they use our USCF rating as a training ground. So that's what I thought. And especially in the United States, you don't have so many FIDE rated tournaments. So they believe so much in their USCF rating, and I thought it would be a very nice thing to have if we had something like that in Nigeria. So we started the project years back, including you, Chief Wills, and the developer, Mr. Tunde. And we had some manual process, but we had difficulties of getting the algorithm right. Well, right now it's a little bit different because we are building something much more encompassing and something huge. I'll say is a management system, not just for rating, but also for tournament organization. So we have two categories of people on the application: the rating officer and the tournament organizer. So the rating officer will be the one processing our ratings, approving organizers from different states, and it's a very interesting stuff. We introduced some features for players, even though the players are public. Like once we upload them, you can just click on. and player can also see the in real time. So yeah, we moved pretty fast this year after like 5 years, but uh, what we've done so far is great, but it costs so much money. Number one, the developer, is a little bit slow, and we were trying to change something for some weeks now, and I need to like try to look for some resources and try to pay him. You get, but it's really very slow, and he doesn't want to really do stuff if he doesn't see money. So that's also some of those. Yeah, that's also some of the
Wow.
challenges you get. Yeah. So, but yesterday I got a message from him that he did something that I'm supposed to check. Because of the application, I think the last time myself and Chivos were online and we were trying to see if the application works across platform. You
Mm-hmm.
get, so he told me yesterday that I should check, but I've not been able to check. I just said I'll get back to him today. But today I'm going to try to check if the application works across platforms, because the issue that he had was, um, if you sign up as a rating officer or tournament director, uh, based on, I mean, depending on the device that you're using registering, you
Yeah.
might not be able to. If you go on another device, the settings or the data that you have is not saved. So
Yeah.
the other device does not pick it up. So he told me to check yesterday, but I've not been able to do that. So I'll do that today. But I think we made a lot of progress in terms of what we did already. It's just what we are trying to do is just make sure we have the application running smoothly, and organizers from anywhere in Nigeria can organize. You don't need to wait for FIDE to get your tournament rated. You get, uh, this is going to be very good for chess development in places where they don't even have chess. I always see what happens around there. Do you know how much people believe in their United States Chess Federation rating? And they try to separate themselves from, oh, this guy is a master. I mean, if you hit 2200 in the US, you're a master and you get a certificate for it. But in Nigeria, we don't have something like that. But
Yeah.
I got to know about, I mean, local rating in the past, being managed by Coach Bola Dada, but they stopped around the 90s, maybe late 90s. You don't have anything like that, or maybe early 2000s. So you don't have anything like that anymore. And you used to be like locally or, I mean, manually done. You get, but this time we've created an algorithm that can just calculate the rating of a player. If a new player is a new player, we have your calculations for you. If you are already an established player, you have your rating on FIDE, then it makes it much more easier for you, because you get an 100 addition to your rating, and your rating progress starts from there. So the system automatically thinks, oh, this guy is video rated and you play 30 games. So your game count starts at 31. So I mean, it's a very nice thing for Nigeria to have something like that. And I'm happy that we are taking up the initiative. I'm not doing this alone. I've gotten a lot of support, especially from people. I mean, there were times we just deliberate about all these things and how we want it to go. And it's been really supportive in terms of suggestions, in terms of the input. Let's do it this way. Even some features that we don't have, they've now been added to it, and I believe that we are going to have a very nice application once it's done. Yeah, yeah, once it's done. And anybody can organize the tournament anywhere. If you're in Maiduguri, you don't need to wait and pay FIDE. You can organize your classical tournament. The rating application also generates Swiss pairing. You can organize tournaments easily, which is very nice. But we still have a long way to go, because we have some plans which we will be revealing over time. But I mean, let me just keep it that way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate. Um, you just wonderful. I won't say more than that for now. And there is one more. There is one more we have to also look into. Um, the Job Hourly Awards 2025. No, would that be
Yeah,
wait? Is
that's
it supposed to be John Fowler Awards 2024 or is it supposed to be John Fowler Awards 2025? Which one is supposed to be now?
Yeah, the award is supposed the year in review is supposed to be 2024, but it's
Okay.
happening in 2025. Yeah. Year in
Okay.
review 2024. So we're going to look at all the performers from last year, 2024, and now choose who wins an award in each of those categories. But right now we have what's it called? A tentative date in October, but it's not confirmed because I just want to make sure that we are sure about everything. And also this time, I'm also planning like, okay, it will be an avenue for me to come home, coupled with some family activities as well. Like my dad is going to clock 80 in October, so
Whoa, nice.
and also we have the 1 year celebration of his coronation as king also coming up in
Wow.
December. So I'm still in between, should we do it in October or do it in December, so that so many activities like that. And but we already gave Dashe a tentative date, which is very nice. And also this time we want to change a lot of things in terms of how we do our voting and everything. So there's someone you introduced to us, Sadiq, the data
Yeah.
scientist,
Yeah.
is trying to come up with different ways in which we can be able to track the performance of players, the performance, especially in the nominated categories, so that our data can be accurate, So he's working on that. And also we're looking at partnership with partnering with some international organizations if it comes through, but the efforts have started already. Yeah, so we hope to have a very interesting and fun-filled 2025 awards.
Wow, that'll be fantastic. I'm looking forward to another Joe Powell Awards 2025. Thank you very much. Thank you. You've been a blessing to us as friends, and you've been a blessing to us Nigerian church, and you've been a blessing to us as family, and you've been a blessing to your friends. Thank you very much, FM Powell. Oyemi. Who is, by the way, if you don't know, was a former national champion. His name is written Goduba Goduba in the Nigerian chess history books. And I believe you were once a junior champion, right? National junior champion.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That was in
What year was that,
2003.
please? 2003. Aha.
2003. Yeah.
Aha. Beautiful. So 2003 junior champion and senior national champion. The only I think championship he hasn't gotten yet. It's not his fault. It's because he's not yet of that age. It's a veteran champion. But there's only one person that has that title. Only one person. That is Mr. Fash, Mr. Oluwaseyitan Femi. Is the only one that has the title of junior national champion. What is it called? National champion and
Now,
senior national champion. Is the only one that has these three titles because there was a senior national championship that happened back then, and he won the event. So. Um, but we've not seen any senior national championship thereafter. I think it's even imperative for some organizers to look into having tournaments for the seniors, people above 15, of course. They can decide to exclude some players though, but at least people above 15. Because come to think of it, lots of stronger players above 15 who are still dominating even the younger ones at this present moment. But it will be fun seeing all those papas, grandpas, playing chess in one specific venue, just the same way FIDE organizes, tournaments for them at the world level. Yeah, what seniors, I believe it's called. Anyways,
yes.
back to
Yeah, I feel
anyway.
like that might be a disadvantage to some veterans that are higher rated. Someone like Odion, if you have veteran like you are 300 points ahead of them, you'll be like, why should I be in this category? Let me fight with these other guys.
No, this is what you do in that kind of scenario. You we can just peg the senior championship ratings to under 2000. It's simple. So that way that that way that way you remove the likes of International Master of Jonah Koje from this kind of event because it's looking like it will be a favorite to win if that kind of tournament should happen. Yeah, yeah, that is it. Um, Let us quickly go back into the game, and this position is actually looking drawish between Amako right now, Arnold versus WFM Sana on Prakash. I think it's going to be a draw, in my own opinion. Yeah, looks drawish, in my own opinion. Who else? Any other game that we've missed so far so good? Let me see. No, yes, it's ended in a draw. They've signed the result sheets and they've agreed to a draw at the end of the day. So next, Sulaiman Azumi, what is he going on in this position, please? I think these guys should have this should have been a draw by now. Let me go back. Okay, so let's go from here. This position is happening for the first time. Okay. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Let's go back. Okay, this position. Let's look at this position. This is happening for the first time. hmm This position is happening for the second time. This position also is happening for the second time. Now, deviation, right? Deviation, 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 all the same deviation. Uh-huh. This position has happened for the third time. This game is a draw. uh, but it takes someone that is actually following. This is the time where um, Mahamat Achimbacha can actually call the arbiter and say, you know what? Or let me say Sulaiman. No, Sulaiman, because it's White's turn to play. Um, well, it's a draw at the moment. Anyways, let's go on. Uh huh. Go back here. This is the second time this is happening. They move again, go around. They've changed the position as well. This position has absolutely changed. Um, This is a drawn game. Both of them should just shake hands and should agree. This is move 70. We're just repeating moves on this position. And Tennessee versus Wafar. This is actually looking so lost for Tennessee at the moment. I'm not saying how he will win this position. I'm saying, but now again, not only are we not seeing how he's going to win, we're also trying to see how Black is going to actually, I mean, how White is also going to win this position easily without hassles. Right now, Rook has to move away. Is this not drawish? Mm-hmm. So what do you want to achieve? I'm not seeing any winner. Rook here, rook takes, pawn takes, king goes here, king goes back here, pawn push, king goes here, pawn push again. I'm not saying, is this going to lead to a win or a loss? Okay, let's look at it again. Rook here. I'm sorry. Rook here. Rook takes, pawn takes, king takes. King here, then or take the opposition, the king goes back here, then you move somewhere here, then of course, rook here is a very lovely way to challenge the rook away from this square to win this position. So I do expect white to play something like rook to f2. This is going to be beautiful if I mean rook to f7 if she can actually play that move. This move is leading towards a very fantastic winning end game position for white. So after rook f2, of course, white will not be able to capture. We will be expecting the black is not going to capture. It's going to be bad. But now the rook just maybe goes back
I think
here.
it's It's really difficult for whites to win this game if there are no
Uh,
exchanges.
Rook F, Rook F7.
Yeah, the rook just moves away to like A1 or
Rook
B1,
F7, Rook to A1. Rook F7, like Rook to A1. Then
Yeah. The pro
Rook back somewhere here.
Yeah, that's the problem now. That every time you move that rook away, the king has king
The king
G7.
steps up. Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So
Or better still, what about just rook somewhere? It's still the same thing. The king will still move to G7.
yeah,
Wow.
the king moves to G7. That's the
Is it?
problem in it. Can you go back some few moves? Let's see what they played to get to this point.
Let's see.
Where they have knight on board and rook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
keep
here.
going. Yeah,
I think
from yeah,
we.
you passed it.
Okay.
The knight was on G4,
Yeah.
rook on G3. Where we had the knight on G4.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So he played that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So he played. Continue, sir.
Yeah. So here we go. King takes pawn,
Yeah.
and now check. King moves. Check again. King moves, and I think okay. Now check. Bishop takes, and that's how we got where we are. Check. Check. No,
Yeah.
no, no more checks. Yeah. Um. Here.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult to win this.
Yeah.
Really difficult.
It looks
He needs a
drawn, right?
move. He needs a move. He needs a move that allows King F6. If he wants to win, he needs to move King F6. Difficult. If the king can get to F6 and
And
there's
the king is
always a
still
way
and
to
the king is
cover
still
on.
back here. Yeah.
Yes, then yeah, but with these double pawns, I think he has complicated the position. So I'm not sure he can win this because
Wow.
the king is well placed. Yeah, I think it's a draw. I might be wrong, but I strongly believe
Let,
it's a draw. Yeah,
let's contact the Oracle. Oracle, can you please show us exactly what's going on here? Can you please tell us good news? Oh, it's a draw. It's a draw. It's a drawn position. Completely equal. There's no way around it. Okay, so that solves it. So we are having the second draw. Um, but hold on a second. What's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Is it that are we saying the only game that is going to okay, we have okay. Nasir Lina won our game, making two games won, and we have one draw on board. One draw coming up. Amako already drew. I think Olisak's game is going to be a draw. Sulaiman Azumi. This is also supposed to be a draw. What's going on here? Okay, if I'm to play this position very simply, if I was to play this position very simply, I have to just bring my knight here. First. Knight here, king here. You know, and I'm good. Yeah, this position is also a draw position, but it's actually black now that is going to play completely for the draw. Hmm.
Okay, now Chief Wills, thank you very much. I need to run now.
Okay, okay, boss. Okay, thank you very much for
Yeah, thank you
joining.
very
Really,
much.
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Lapita still there. Thank you, Lapita.
Yeah, Lakwita is half here, half there.
All right. No
Thank you very
problem.
much,
Thank
sir.
you to the
Yeah,
viewers as well. All
yeah.
right. Take
All the
care, sir.
viewers at home. That's it. That's Fide Master Paoli, Johnny Yemi with us here, and just took a sleep. We're graced by his points, and Lakwita seems to be back halfly anyway, not fully. Um, so what do we have here? I think we just this game is going to end a draw. Olisa Tennison's game is just going to end a draw. If he plays perfectly right, it's going to be a drawn game. Um, interesting. Just can you just cut everything? Rook, rook check, maybe rook check, or just put the rook here. Just put the rook somewhere. Does it work? Oh, what? How does it? How would this work? This doesn't work. Check because of king here. Wait, hold on. Um, stalemate. Yes, stalemate ideas. Stalemate ideas. I think. Yeah, stalemate ideas. Check. King comes back here. You can gladly put the rook here. No, you can't. That's terrible. You can't. Check. Check. Yes, king just comes here because king can afford to come here.
Hello, Chief Wales.
Welcome back here, Lakatola Rotimi. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. There were some interesting things happening in this game between Tennyson because I kept on wondering. For a while, I've been looking at the move and I've been wondering like, okay, why is this should just be lights out or white should just win. But let's go back to um move 51.
Okay, going back to move 51, king a6, after king a6 from there, right?
Yeah, yeah. So here I was wondering, I thought, I mean, this should just be game over. Like in my mind, once you can get the king to a certain terrible square, then it should just be game over. So I was surprised that with so much time on our clock, she had 56 minutes at this point, if the clock is correct. I believe she has 56 minutes, right?
Yeah, rook b8 was played first. I mean b5.
Yeah.
Aha.
But the question is, why just not knight h6? That was what I was
Abi
thinking. Knight h6. Okay, so let's
knight
make the move on the board.
h6.
Knight h6.
Knight
Yeah.
h6. Check. Now what do you have? You only have
The king
king
can't
here.
go to h8 because of rook
Because
h7 checkmate.
rook what?
H7 checkmate. King can go to h8.
Yes, of course. The rook can king can go to h8. Of course, we know about that. Can go to h8
Yeah.
because of sorry, this is nowhere
No, no, no,
here.
no, not yeah.
This king can come to h8 because of rook h7 mate. So the only move right now is
Yeah.
to move to after this is to move to f8.
But actually, this is just winning. After pawn to g7, what does white do?
Pawn
What does
g7
black
check.
do?
And but the king bishop takes
Yeah. Okay. Rook
and
to
now
a8.
check. There is no solution. Blocks
Yeah. It
and you
was.
mate.
It was just mate. It was just checkmate. So Alpha had just checkmating, maybe a first checkmate in
Interestingly,
3 or
I didn't
4.
even see that. I didn't even see that. I didn't even continue from that perspective. I just went back to um
Uh,
this is Can you imagine? So there
Yeah,
was even a
because for
mate
a
at
while
one
now,
point.
even without,
Jeez.
uh, I mean, it was. So I think it's maybe they will say it's destiny that uh,
And now here, the young
message
man.
draw.
Wait, the young man secured the drone from this perspective, and yes, from here, I think I was literally looking for how and why.
Yeah, so I think
Oh, now this is drone. Did you see how he's going for the draw?
what are you going to do after Rook F7?
After rook f7, still
Yeah,
rook.
are you sure?
It doesn't work, right?
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm asking what you want to do
Oh, me? Oh, that's true. Rook
after
f7.
Rook
Yeah, I think
F7.
so. Check, of course.
Okay, so Rook E6. Okay.
Rook a6. The rook goes
Okay,
back
but
in.
after Rook F6,
Then we go back in.
then Rook F8 check.
Rook f8 check is good, correct? Rook takes, pawn takes,
Pawn
queen,
takes.
king takes,
King takes.
and here
King H7.
white is winning. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
this combination. I actually saw it even before now. I think this is where I saw
I
it
think
from. I saw it from this
now
perspective. I saw it from here. I saw it from here actually.
Black Black has misplayed it, and it's, yeah, Black
Yeah.
is lost. That's not the correct way to defend. If you want to defend, it's very famous that a knight, two pawns, like two doubled pawns on the knight file to be drawn if you can get I don't know what they call it. Is it the FIDE or the Lucena position? If you can get your rook to the third rank, it's drawn. So the correct way, I think, Tennyson missed the correct way. And this
Okay.
now is completely lost. I think he's going to resign in the next move. Do we have the live feed of the players' reactions? Because you
No,
probably
no,
feel okay.
no. We no longer have
Yeah,
the
I
live
mean,
feed.
he had the
Oh, okay. Look at this. Look at
he
this.
had the draw.
Look at this. No problem. I'll just push
Yeah,
the
but this
pawn
is
one
not.
step forward.
Yeah, this is nothing.
I push the pawn. Now look at the interest. Look at the
Yeah,
annoying
this.
thing. He's gonna push this pawn. If this rook still retains this place, then he moves his king away.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just it.
And
That's
that's
just it. And
how
there's no longer any stalemate.
The WGM just is about to gun down Olisa Ellison. That's it. Simple chess. Ah, but she should have done it a long time ago. But anyways, the what is it called? How will I put it now? She was let's say she had a favorable position whereby she was able to get the mate, or else that mate would have been biting really really hard.
Yeah,
Whenever she
you have
remembers the
to
position.
know how to. There are some things that you have to learn. Okay, so Tennyson has resigned. After the move pawn to
Yeah,
G5.
yeah, completely. That's a good win for WGM of Ashok against our very own Lisa Tennessee. Um, oh, well, it happens. The battle continues.
It was not.
You're
The
right,
battle
right?
just continued.
And
Yeah,
now this game,
he had the
Sulaiman
draw in the time
Azumi,
somehow.
yeah, he had the draw, but he let it slip. Azumi is still, this is what I was talking about. I said, just knight takes pawn and push this pawn. And let's go and sleep
But there's
because we need to prepare for our next round.
yeah, there's nothing.
Eh,
There's nothing to this game. I think both of them are just going through the motions. I don't even know what exactly
what
anybody is aiming for. In fact, if anyone can lose, I think it's white now.
exactly?
If you are trying to lose, if you are really, really trying to lose,
But wait,
black
is it
has
possible
no
for
losing
white?
chances at all.
Is it actually possible for white to lose this position?
Well, who knows?
It's possible. I mean, let's look at the plan. Look at this king. Look at this how terrible this king is, right? It's even black that can actually play for away right now.
Yeah.
Simple plans. If I can get my knight in here, get my knight here. Look at it. Look at it. Get my knight here. Get my king here. I'm winning.
Yeah, white is really putting an effort to lose.
So how do I
From the
get my knight
moment
here?
from the moment he played some moves in the opening, in the middle game there, I was thinking, white is really trying to lose. And maybe he will get
One,
his wish.
2, 3. Mission 1 accomplished. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mission 2 accomplished. 5. One push with queen.
Yeah, it could well be lost.
That's going to be a very terrible. I mean, that's going to be a wonderful comeback. For black actually, it's going to be a wonderful. As a matter of fact, black is winning. Black is winning. Remember the
But
plan again.
am I going to go?
One,
Not
two,
going to.
3, or 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we can make some moves on the board, yeah.
No, I think going this route is better. Why? Because if the king comes here, we have to stop the king. You have to be able to stop the king. The king comes here next, then you're stopping the king also. You don't want the king to cross over here. That's one thing you want to achieve. You want to, you
Okay.
want to stop. So next,
All
what
right.
happens
Let's
next?
let's let's
The
continue.
bishop comes in, and we still have this knight coming here next. The bishop runs away,
Okay,
whatever it
bishop.
wants to do, the knight still coming back in. So now we've cut this square away from the king, from the bishop. And now the bishop
All
needs to
right.
move somewhere here, then remove the king again. The king decides to come
All right.
closer, we
King.
move the king here. And now the king decides to move closer, we bring the knight here.
Okay, but isn't this a draw? Bishop captures
Oh, wait.
knight.
Bishop captures knight, king
Oh, bishop
takes.
captures knight. Is that a draw? Okay, king here. Don't push. E.
That's a beautiful end game.
You're not in time. Which
Come
pawn? You're not in
on,
time.
come on. Let's see if she can find it. If she can find it, let's see. Ah,
Yeah, we have
okay.
that
She's
position
going.
on the board. If you click on back to live, that's the position we have
Whoa!
on
They
the
already
board.
have my position. They have my position on board. Is this a live view? Yes. This is exactly the plan. Oh, I'm feeling fly.
It's,
Yeah, this is a beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful. This is a master class end game.
but
But the blame
yeah,
is
but
on white.
White was really trying to lose. Like I've never seen someone put so much effort into losing a game before.
Oh, come on. Ouch. No, 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 no. This is not what we're looking at.
Okay, but let's see. How do you try to defend? Yeah.
There is no way you
Okay.
can defend.
All right. Let's make some moves. What are we going to do?
It's white's turn to play. I just can't figure out what you're going to play. Because look at it, it's simple. You want to stop this pawn from coming in, right? But this knight is going to get here first. He's going to get, sorry, 1, 2, 3 with the king. This king is already completely off. See? Knight here next. Check. Knight coming here is even coming with a check now. Simple.
No,
It's a check. The king needs to leave. If the king decides to come here, there is even king attacks bishop. You see, black. There are lots of ways black can even do it. King comes here, king attacks bishop, bishop comes back here, knight attacks bishop, bishop comes back here, king attacks the bishop. You still have to leave. There's just no way. As a matter of fact, in the game, King C3 was played, and
Now he's just making random moves.
you can even still play this. You see, you still have the option. You can still play King C3, King F6. I mean F3 immediately. You can play King F3. If King comes to that takes, it doesn't work because you're still going to come up. Oh no. I just can't find a way for you to escape this scenario.
Maybe because there's no escape.
Yeah, maybe because there's no escape. You have a point.
All right. So, well, I can't really say. I don't know what to say about that.
Now,
I
now
I, I always find it.
it looks like look at it from this perspective. Azumi in a lost position or in a bind against Wapashuro, and Wapashuro misplayed it because of a free pawn. He ended up losing that position. Same thing goes to Muhammad Achim here. We're dominating. You got a very good draw. Settle for the draw. Now you were looking for something that was not existing, and all of a sudden you're losing again. Uh, so how does this affect the price of Gary in the market? King F3. King F3. It's so simple
Guys,
to play. It's so simple to play. King F3. And now knight
I always
G3.
feel
Oh god.
I always feel very strange
But wait,
when someone really doesn't,
just
is not
look at
objective.
it. Just look at it from there. Look at it. What is? Because why? The question is, okay,
Actually, that's not so bad. If you decide to King B5 and B7 is not bad. Okay, King C7. Okay, King D7. No. D7 is what you should try. Not here. Let's go back.
no, you know what? You know
Just
what?
King.
I'm not even interested in all the King D7. Why not just push the pawn?
Well, that's just a draw then.
Push the pawn. Push the pawn. Push the pawn.
I don't understand. That's a draw now. Go back a move.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You should push the pawn to force the draw. I don't know, maybe you get what I'm saying. Instead of the
Yeah.
merry-go-round, yes, force
Yeah,
the
okay.
pawn
He was
and
trying to lose. I don't really think there's any more we shouldn't really talk too much. In fact, if there was another game, we would have looked at another game. I don't
but there
think
is
this is
none.
worth watching anymore.
There's no way.
Yeah, so this
Anyways,
is
this game is completely winning. He's going to be winning. There is no solution to this. He should be resigning at the moment, if not. And he has one now on his clock.
yeah, I don't
Is
know.
he a Muhammad, a boy or girl?
Achimba
From
Chai,
chat.
I think is a man. Is an
Is
older
that?
man. I think I played him at AICC.
See,
Is
this is, and he's still playing. He should resign, please. Anyways, thank you very much for gifting Sulaiman Azumi the 40 points. That's what we should do. Just give him thank you for a whole point instead of just split it apart. No. Anyways,
point. It
that
looked
is.
like white.
Come on.
Anyway, okay. So yeah, there is nothing too much to say about. I feel I shouldn't even be looking at this game anymore. The game is anyway already over. Um,
And all
we
games are over
can.
actually. All games are over right now. I think he already resigned. He resigned. So all games are over and we can actually call it
Yeah,
quits and wait for round four that will be coming up probably in the next, I think it's starting for 3 p.m. I guess. Is it? Is it 3 p.m. or 4 p.m.? I have to check. Nine, maybe 3 p.m. I don't know. Anyways, we'll come back around maybe 4 or 4:30 or five maybe to just check the remaining games that are available and we'll sign out for now. So thank you very much, Mr. Lakuta Oluwaduro Timisi. I'm already calling you FIDE Master.
Thank
I
you
trust you.
very much.
I trust
We're
you.
going
I
to
trust you.
pause here for now and
Yeah.
the next round. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate your joining in. We hope to bring in probably Prince Adewola Yinka today. If not, then I will be going to Lagos tomorrow. So I'll be, hopefully, will be at the venue where we can actually, after the rounds, we can actually talk to one or two of the players to explain what was going on in their mind, live and direct. We should be able to do that, achieve that tomorrow. And I'm not so sure of the stream on Tuesday, but at least let's enjoy, let's have some fun tomorrow. Anyways, thank you very much, guys, for staying tuned. And again, it says happening at the City Heights Hotel, City Heights Luxury Hotel in Lagos, place Ikeja. This is where it is happening. This wonderful tournament of ours, the Super Zonals 2025. And guess who is leading the tournament at the moment? Our very own, the defending champion, FIDE Master Abdulrahim Abdulrahman Akintoye. So we look out for round four and see what is in stock. We'll be here to give you juicy analysis with FIDE Master Lakute. Thank you very much for now, guys. See you later. Cheers.